This is the January 20th, 2024 special meeting of the Franklin Public Library Board of Trustees. I will take attendance here. This is Maria Imp, Anne Marie Oklubgia.
Present.
Annalee Bennon is absent. Doris Weber.
Here.
Terry Barris.
Here.
Judy Williams-Kalaki is excused also. Alan Alexandrovich.
Here.
Mike Karlovitz is excused, and Michelle Eichmann.
Here.
Also present is Jennifer Luffel, the director, and Carrie, I still call you by your maiden name, Whitmore. That's your married name. Isn't that, I go so far back, I still call her Carrie Miller sometimes.
It's okay.
Anyways, our assistant director's here also. Alrighty, we have no public here, no public comments, so we will move on to the December vouchers and invoices and other items under finance.
All right. I went through 15 invoices. Nothing jumped out at me that looked wrong. The mud tech for $3,700 jumped out, but that's right. So I'm looking for a motion to approve $9,168.85 for these invoices.
Make a motion.
Doris? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Terry? All right, any other questions about those? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed or abstained? Motion carries.
The Fund 16 invoices, again, everything looked appropriate. I'm looking for a motion to approve $7,932.04 for these invoices.
I will move,
I'll second.
and that was Michelle. Any other questions about that? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed or abstained? Motion carries. And just to remind you guys, I do apologize, we have to do this because the city needs these before Monday, so we can't, they actually needed it.
No, yesterday was the last
They
day,
needed
but
it
they're,
yesterday, but Jennifer pulled some strings, or she asked nicely, and they let us do them today, so that's why we're doing them today and not Monday.
We're gonna make Monday's
Okay.
meeting shorter, that works.
Is anybody going to be there to process these today, Saturday? Or they're going to get them
no,
on the-
Monday.
Okay.
You need them dropped off at City Hall because I have a key, I'm happy to do that.
No, because it's all in BSNA.
Oh, got it, okay. I didn't know.
It's
You
all-
need to give me
no.
a hard
It's
copy
all
or
there.
We
I
anything.
used
I can
to.
get it if you need it.
We used to.
Okay, that is,
Right. You have the service agreement that or was that in the Fund 15?
For,
Is that still on? No, that's not on here. Sorry, I'm using my old agenda. I decided not to
Oh.
print out.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Alan. All right. Moving on to new business then, hand in hand with our action plan. The action plan every year is built off our original strategic plan that we did back in 2019. I was going to say 18 or 19. And that comes to an end at the end of 2024. So we are going to revive our strategic plan committee to move forward with our next strategic plan. And Jennifer has been doing some thinking and researching on this, so.
Well, I included an email I reached out to a colleague who used to be pretty high up at MPL, has since moved on and is doing her own has her own consulting business now. And she's helping, one of the things she does is strategic plans. So she's working with MICLIS right now to Milwaukee County Fire Library System to, on their, because their strategic plan is concurrent with ours. So she's working with them right now on their strategic plan. So I had asked her, how, I know that she's pretty much doing everything for Milwaukee County. We don't necessarily need everything. I don't think we have to reinvent the wheel, but, so I'd asked her about her charges, like if she just did specific, if she'd be willing to do just specific things. And you can see from her email, she's very flexible. She could do pretty much whatever we want. So just something to think about before we talk about it at the Monday evening meeting, because I think it's on that agenda as well. That, might be nice to have her, for example, to do the community conversations and maybe help us with the survey. But I don't think we need like a full, and maybe some writing help, but I don't think we need like the full strategic plan service from her. And it sounds like she's very, very willing to be flexible and help us out, so.
And I think, obviously, that's something that the strategic plan committee, which is something else we'll talk about Monday. The past members of that committee, and if they're gonna remain the same, whatever.
When we do the strategic plan, do we do the strengths, weaknesses?
Opportunities and threats.
Yeah, we had, I remember years ago talking about, we went through that whole big process with that consultant in 2018, 2019 to develop the strategic plan, and then saying that maybe the next time we do a strategic plan, we wouldn't need a consultant necessarily to lead us through the whole thing. We had just been through it 5 years. Maybe we could kind of, move through it ourselves. But the more Jennifer thought about it and considered it again, at least parts of it would be good to have somebody helping us
Parts of it would be good to have an
through.
outsider.
So that'll definitely be something that the committee will, be discussing.
Are they
So-
just gonna do another 5-year plan, or does it have some longer term goals on it as well?
Well, okay, so generally, I think a 5-year plan is what our,
I think we did 4, because of the changing
Oh, that's
nature
right.
of library, things were changing so quickly, we
Yeah.
didn't want to do anything
Yeah.
like too far out, so we we'll cut a year off.
right, but on the other hand, I think, isn't the city asking for like a capital improvements plan through 2030? So maybe we don't have a strategic plan out that far, but we do have some long-term planning
Right, some long-term
beyond.
goals on it.
Yeah. So, okay. All right, so that really should probably, I think that's on Monday's meeting.
Yeah.
Is the strategic, the more discussion about the strategic plan. But again, the strategic plan is what we build these action plans off of. As a reminder for those of you that weren't part of the original strategic plan, that's how we come to that. Okay, I should be looking at this since
We can keep it in the middle.
yeah, sorry. No, I think the rest of it is right. I looked at it this morning, but, okay, so we always, every year, just to remind ourselves and refresh ourselves, we look at our mission statement. We don't do any changes to it. It's just to have it in front of us and keep it in the back of our minds as we move through this process today. That our mission statement is that the Franklin Public Library is dedicated to providing every member of our community with abundant opportunities to learn, explore, and connect. So what we do, what we plan is kind of filtered through that statement. So we will move right on to the 2023 and all of the amazing things that the library staff has accomplished this year.
Yeah, we had a pretty good year. I mean, there's a couple of things that's still in progress that we still have to complete, but for the most part, you'll see almost everything's been completed. So, as far as the programming, we'll move through the strategic goals one by one. Programming, one of our goals was to survey program participants regarding future programming offerings and report findings to the library board. I think we met the 25% survey participation when we did the survey in the programs, but we forget. But when we did offer a survey, we had I had a QR code people could do on their phones. I had the paper copies if they preferred paper. And I think we had at least 25% participation in the surveys. I think I mentioned this at one of the meetings. When we do a survey in a music program, they ask for more music programs. When we do a survey in a cooking program, they ask for more cooking programs. So I think one of the things in the new strategic plan is we got to figure out a way to reach the people who aren't. So that's one of the things we need to work on, is reaching those people who aren't attending the programs. You know, are they just busy? You know, why aren't they? What about our programs? Do not make them want to come, you know, or
Right.
is there a program that they would be interested in?
Or to be honest with you, some people might just like coming to the library to check out books. And they're
And
not,
that's
they're not
right.
like upset that there's no programs for them. They don't want programs. They want books, DVDs, whatever they want,
Yep.
you know, so we have to acknowledge that too.
Right, yeah.
know,
I will say, just based on our program attendance this year, which is way up, obviously, we're doing something right. Because we're getting the numbers at our programs, and our programs are filling up. Sometimes they're filling up quickly, and that's not necessarily a great thing. Nice thing about 2024 is that we got some extra money from the foundation for programming. So if there is a really popular program that's a little bit more on the expensive side and it fills up quickly, we could open up a second one if staff is able to, because programs do take up a lot of staff time too.
Yeah.
I think you just started putting up a small for, not the program technically, but for materials or whatever.
Yeah,
Well, we
talked
have
about
started,
that, yeah.
we have started doing that, and,
But I mean, a lot of the ones Brittany does, so much craft supplies, right? They love their crafts and the kid stuff. Even if it was just a really small, even if it was like,
$2, $3.
right, or
some type of
$5 a
donation.
family.
we
Or
did,
leave
we
it
are
open.
creating a,
Well,
instead of,
probably not.
instead
It'd
of,
be nice if people would do that.
Nice spot, but yeah, you're right.
instead of the ginormous donation bucket, we're making a small one specifically for the children's programs. And it
Yeah.
has like a little giraffe on it. It's very, you know, kind of,
Oh,
like there's, so, and they'll have that.
I think if we get
Difficult.
Venmo, it'll help.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Relax.
I mean, yeah.
I don't even have it personally.
We, the foundation does, the library just doesn't, because we'd have to
Right.
work with the city on
Right,
that.
right.
Most of the
But
program
I
donations
can-
go, they do go right through the library and not through the foundation, just foundation stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. So, you know,
I think
that's,
if we want to, this is all excellent. Let Jennifer report on 23 and save our ideas for the action
Yeah.
plan. No. But I was looking ahead because we don't specifically have an evaluation type of goal in next
Right.
year's action
yeah,
plan.
which we can, yeah.
So, but that's okay, because,
Part of that might be done by the strategic plan survey, though.
exactly.
Goal number 2, increase outreach by partnering with local senior living apartments and daycares. The senior living apartments, wasn't that great? Some of the senior living apartments already have libraries or are interested in it, although Forest Hill Highlands did reach out to us,
And
so
they
we'll
do have their
see.
own programs usually, yeah.
But the daycares has been one of the more successful things, so
That's awesome.
I believe Laura Manuelson has taken over as the
Daycare outreach.
daycare outreach
Nice.
person, so.
One thought with the senior centers, like we've got New Perspective, obviously Benwood right here. Sometimes seniors might just want to, even if they have their own libraries, they just might want to get out for the social interaction part of it, or just to, leave their residence, just to kind of be out. is what I
Yeah.
thought, too.
Yep.
Yeah,
The Littles and Legends program has been very popular. They've actually wanted Brittany to expand, which is why we got Laura Emanuelson involved, because there's only so much that my children's librarians can be out of the building.
right.
So, that's been a very popular program. They love it over there. So Brittany's gotten great feedback from both the attendees, the Littles and Brentwood. Goal 3, hold VR center programming with new Quest 2 VR headset. Develop and market at least one program. Sam actually did 2, so he wants you to know he did 2. Again, the under age 13 thing was a little tricky, but there's not really much we could do about it. And Somebody contacted Discovery World, and they actually do have a age limit,
Do
so,
they? Because
yeah.
when we go, they do not.
It might be
Anybody can go on them.
who's enforcing it.
I don't know if anyone's enforcing it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I've seen all ages.
And that comes from the company,
Right,
whatever.
yes, Facebook, Meta.
Meta.
I
Yeah.
think Sam said they actually moved it down to 12 now.
Okay.
At the Discovery?
At
Oh, Meta
Meta
did.
whatever, yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
he's like, I know Penny's like ragingly disappointed that she can't use her VR.
Yeah.
But now her friend has the exact same VR, so they just use that one. But it's like, yeah, it is heartbreaking to see the kids be like, no.
yeah. Well, if they did lower it to 12, that might help a little bit.
Then you'll just have the 11-year-olds feeling.
It's true.
Right, right.
That's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna be disappointed.
Somebody's
Yeah.
gonna be
Yep.
trickle down.
Goal 4, create library outreach and passive programming for tweens and teens in local schools. Laura got a little late start on this, but she assures me that they're working on it and that she's going to be in the schools doing some kind of, it sounds like a lunch thing where she might do a book talks and
That's kind of
other
neat.
things.
Is she working with that reading specialist?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, that's been the nice thing, is that she's been able to partner with the reading specialists and
Yeah.
That's
Do what
So-
they can't.
the other kind of cool thing is we've been asked by the Indian Community School to participate in their literacy night.
Ooh.
So we're kind of going in, not necessarily as Franklin Library, because a lot of the students there are from other communities.
yeah.
We'll be there kind of representing Nicholas too.
Right,
Franklin,
that's-
obviously, but also Milwaukee County, because
For sure. That's where they'll be
referring them to
going.
resources that they might have at their own local
Yeah,
libraries.
yeah.
Does anybody have any questions about the first goal of programming? So we'll move on to 2, and Carrie, you could jump in too if I didn't highlight something you think we should highlight.
On programming?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't
Run
I
anything.
think you covered it.
Programming's been very,
It's
Yeah.
been very great. It's been great.
Yes.
Yep.
It really has
If-
been, yes.
Yeah, I can't say that like,
yeah. Strategic Goal 2, Community Hub. The library is the center of the community and will work to foster, I think that's supposed to say, and we will work. Oh, I don't know. To foster and grow our role as a community connector. So the first goal, evaluate and implement the use of room scheduling software for reservations of meeting rooms.
praise God.
We're there.
Yes,
Took us all
that
a
was
year,
a long
but we did
painful, it was a
But
long
yeah, I know.
painful. It was so painful.
Oh, man.
Carrie and I were like, oh my God, it's done.
Now.
And
'Cause
we
we-
will hear more about it in the
Yeah.
2024 action plan.
Frankly, Excel doesn't work totally great as a room scheduling.
Yeah, and I swear there is something weird
There's
with our
something
server.
weird, yeah, weird, it's just not
Hence the
dependable.
room mix-up this weekend. And I'm like, I swear to God, I put it in.
And
then
those were through the old system?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just
We're,
starting to
just
do
we're
starting,
that.
yeah,
moving
okay.
things
But I'm
over
like-
slowly.
Yeah.
And this huge program in there at 2:00 with 50 people.
Oh my gosh.
Same setup as the cheer yoga, which has 50 people, and I'm like, no.
Not, no, absolutely
And I
not.
got back on Wednesday. I'm like, what's that?
So, yeah, we're very, very happy about
Gosh, I
this.
can't wait.
And there's some features, it's gonna be exciting, I think it'll be great, and once we get it to the point where the public
Absolutely.
can schedule their own meetings and all we do is approve them, it's gonna
Yeah.
be such a, it's gonna save our staff hours way more than 10%.
Yes.
That was kind of a
You can
conservative,
put Andy on something else.
yeah, yeah.
Although he seems to like that. I don't know.
I don't know, it's very, very hard, it's very hard to read, Andy.
It is, but I think sometimes it's very frustrating for him, and he's
Oh,
like,
I'm
I've spent my whole morning on meeting room stuff. And that's when I'm like, I don't know if he really likes doing it. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's aspects of it he really likes doing, because it's like meticulous kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I think like sometimes it's overwhelming for him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're very excited about that. And really, I mean, for the cost, it's less than $1,000. We brought in $5,500 in meeting room fees, so the meeting room fees can easily cover the cost of it.
Well, and just man hours that you're saying.
Right.
Yeah,
It's true that there's a
totally.
cost there. The second goal, research how other libraries serve their diverse communities to increase use of the library's services and resources. From what I got from the librarians is that they have talked to their groups, their committees, and it didn't seem like they got a lot of feedback. So they just kind of went on their own.
Yeah, I agree.
So one of the things we're starting to do is work with a local therapy business to provide early screenings for children. So that might lead to earlier interventions and better outcomes. And that's one thing parents Brenny says parents have asked for that. So I think that's kind of going to be a positive thing. So that's just one.
They either have one scheduled or just had one.
They just had one.
Just
They
had
just
one.
Friday, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
wasn't-
just saw
I think it was
that. ad.
Friday. Yeah,
Was it?
Oh, yeah, you
Okay.
weren't here. Yeah, no, it was Friday, because,
Okay.
And how many
yes.
people, did they have to sign up ahead of time, or was it a show
I
up?
don't
Do you
know.
know
Sign up.
about how many people took advantage of that?
I thought it was full.
Oh,
I'm
don't
not
know.
positive. I have to
That's
ask
awesome.
Brenny.
Yeah.
Let me find out from
Okay.
Brenny.
Yeah,
I mean,
Brenny
it was the
can coordinate
first,
that.
that was the very first one. So, not sure, but, so we are working on that. And we'll continue to look at ways. One of the things, I mean, Carrie, with her foreign language collection, that right there is serving a diverse community.
Absolutely.
The Diwali the Aparna bag
Yeah.
programs that we've had, the Diwali and
Yeah.
Holi.
No, the first one was just like kind of an
Dance.
educational program on Indian dance, and then the second one was the Diwali program. And yeah, she's great to work with. I'm glad we made that connection. And we're doing another Black History Month program. We have a speaker coming in that's going to be talking about Bronzeville.
Ooh,
Unfortunately, the two that I did last year were very poorly attended, even though, boosted it on Facebook, had it in the city newsletter. I don't have a lot of hope for this one, and it makes me sad. Because
Yeah.
people are always asking for these programs. and then
Why don't they come? Yeah, we can't quite figure it out.
so is it a,
February 22nd, I think. Yeah, she's a professor at UWM. She's going to come and talk about the history of Bronzeville, which it will be really interesting.
Yeah.
so do you ever reach out to like the high school history classes or the middle school
Yes.
and those staff and say, the library has
would-
this, yeah, I don't,
So I know that last year for the Black History Month programs, I put it in I'm pretty sure I put it in the newsletter that goes, the e-newsletter.
Yep,
And I'm not sure if I reached out to like the National Honor Society.
oh, yeah,
But I tried to get out there too, because like I thought
yeah,
maybe, yeah.
yeah. You would think, yeah,
It's just the lack of diversity in Franklin.
Yeah, I mean, well, it also comes to like the Diwali program and the Indian dance program. We
Huge.
have a huge
Yes.
Indian population,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
They
right.
all came
Right.
out for it.
Yeah.
It's
And
amazing.
some other people did too. But, but we're serving that community too and providing a forum for them, right? So that's awesome. We do not have a lot of Black people in our community.
Right.
that's why I thought if you could really promote it as like, it's historical education and not, yeah, I mean, but.
I can
which,
tell.
I don't
'cause
know.
I've been talking to Andy about it. I'm like, we really got to push this, but that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
I mean-
instead of just putting it in the newsletter, which parents are probably going to be like, well, it's at night. I'm not going to go.
Right, right.
You have to get to the teachers. I remember when the Environmental Commission used to have programs here once a year.
Yes.
Pat went and talked to the science teacher, and the science teacher would like give extra credit to kids
Right,
for
yeah,
coming to
yeah.
the thing. So she'd
Yeah.
have like 75 high school students show up.
I had a psychology program once when my neighbor did it, and like 45 kids showed up because their psychology teacher gave them extra credit to come.
Right, right.
So, I mean, I can have Andy find the history teachers and email them, but
Right.
in the past, we've never really gotten a good response. But
Go to the
Yes.
AP history teachers.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, do you want me to have Chris compile a list for you?
only if he has time, or if he would know teachers that would actually respond.
Yeah, I
or
was
be
gonna say,
interested.
that's, yeah. So that that. The last goal, increase use of tools and resources available in the create space. We have knocked that out of the
I was gonna say,
Carrie can speak to that. I'll turn that over
So
to Carrie.
happy. The create space is kind of like my little baby.
yeah.
The Tinker Tot Spot is like everybody's favorite place to be, and I'm like, yay!
I know. Oh, you have so many fun programs
want
and
it.
stuff coming up. I'm
And
like,
just
oh.
wait till the snow melts. That chainsaw will never be here. I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
You got
well,
it. I was gonna ask you how many times you've checked it out.
yet.
Not
Yeah.
yet? Okay.
We have one patron that keeps checking it out and swears it leaks oil, and we're like, no.
You know
Anyway.
what? They just use a ton of
They
oil.
use a
Yeah,
ton of oil,
those
and they're
are-
oily.
Have to make sure people know that.
It's-
Yeah,
'Cause
but she
I'm
over-
constantly
well,
She
we're
over-
convinced she overfills
Overfills
it.
it.
And then instead
Oh,
of putting
sure.
it in her car like this,
Yes.
she
She
like
tips
tips
it.
it,
Oh.
wrong, and then it
Oh, boy.
leaks all over the place. And every time Sam's like, no, it's not leaking. They're oily. Yes, they leak some oil because the chain has to be oily. She's just like, it leaks.
So do you
Checking it out.
offer
Right,
to
it's a
actually take them outside and demonstrate? Because if you do and you need some wood,
We need a tree.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we need a tree or some, yeah.
I would not do that.
Sam would, though.
Sam would. Sam's used it.
Sam's used it, so.
I mean, because maybe that would help people like that if they needed a.
We need a
We
demo
also
tree.
can't
Yeah,
figure out
that.
what she's doing
Yeah.
every week. It's like
Every week?
for a while it was like, yeah.
And it comes back clean, right?
No, it comes back full of oil because
She puts
She
it in a
puts it in a
bag.
bag.
She puts it in a bag, and the bag will have like oil.
Sam.
And then we spend time cleaning
Well,
the-
even when she brings it in, she's not carrying it by the handle, like so. It's like this, right? She's like,
Maybe she needs an in-service. You shouldn't have to clean up that.
No. And
Wow.
get messy and risk getting it on your
well, that's
clothes.
part of it though. Like with the baking stuff, like if somebody brings back stuff dirty, I have to go clean it.
But we do charge them. We do
yeah,
charge
we do charge
them.
them. I charge a cleaning fee.
We charge a cleaning.
And I think
Back.
well, you know, like
Every
not-
once in a while. It's
No.
not-
Cake crumbs in the corner
not
or
gross.
something.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
some of those.
We're little
things-
perfectionists when it comes
Oh,
to our
absolutely.
baking
Check out
stuff.
Yeah.
tart pans that have crust in
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I have to soak them and wash them.
So what about flag her account and the next time she wants it, say that.
We all know who she is. And,
Yeah.
and
We
Sam
don't have
did
to
tell her
flag
if
it.
she brings it back one more time like that, we are going to charge her a cleaning fee. We did.
Well, no, but
say
just
that.
to, I'm just saying, maybe she doesn't know that it needs to be carried upright.
He told her that.
Okay.
I mean, Sam somehow always gets.
Good, that's probably good.
It probably is. It's consistent.
Yeah.
But yeah, last time he was like.
And does it have, like ours has a little thing so you can see how where
Yeah.
to fill the oil?
Yeah, it
Okay.
has like a little line,
Yeah,
like don't
uh-huh.
fill
Like
up.
you can
and-
see, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, and he even told her, he's like, you don't need to go crazy. Like, he explained stuff to her too, right? Because he was the
Yeah.
first one to use her chainsaw. So he like explained it to her, but every time she's just like doing whatever she's doing the same thing and it's leaking. But other people have used it and brought it back and it was fine. So it's user error. It's something.
Yeah,
she's
just
doing.
need a little more education for her.
Can we get any kind of a plastic
Yeah, one of those.
container?
Yeah.
to
Does
set-
it have
to
a-
sit it in?
So the thing is that like
Yeah.
I can't unless I want like a giant big thing because of the way it is. It doesn't fit in like the long, thin ones because the handle's so high, right?
But what brand is it?
It's a.
You don't have to
DeWalt.
cover it, it had just something
Oh,
to carry it in.
Oh.
Oh, just
Leave
to
it-
carry
leave
it.
it
in.
open.
Think about that, like a little bin or something that.
Yeah,
I mean, I could do that.
I'll look at home.
And
I
they,
probably have a bin
DeWalt
at
doesn't
home.
make a case for
No,
that.
there's no case for it. I mean,
She would have bought it
Yeah.
if there
I
was.
suppose.
Yeah,
How
it's
big,
in a
how
case.
big is it?
I guess a bin you could line,
it's like a regular size chainsaw.
Okay, it is a full.
18-inch maybe, a small?
It's not giant,
Yeah.
right? But it's not the teeny.
Okay,
So it's
yeah.
a kind of
Maybe.
Is this gas or electric?
it's well, it uses oil.
Well,
But it's,
For the power.
It's
I have
electric,
electric
It's
and I
battery
got
powered,
put up
isn't
on
it?
yeah, me
it's
too.
battery.
It's battery.
It's battery.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no. I'm like, there's
There's no
plug-in.
gas. There's no
It's not
gas.
gas.
But
It's
there's
just-
no gas.
I'm
Well,
like,
so
what the
is
heck
it?
is it then? It's
Yeah.
battery.
Do you have to charge it then? I don't
No,
know.
we do
No.
not have to charge
No,
it.
you just don't.
No.
What the heck is it then? I don't know.
Well, it
gotta
has
be
to have
powered
power
somehow.
from somewhere.
Okay, it's magic.
It's a magic, a magic.
Maybe there is a cord.
I'm just confused.
I'm
I
too.
can't remember. I cleaned it and I can't even
I have to
remember.
go look. Anyway, yeah.
A lot of those, their cords are like this big because you plug it into, or it doesn't even have a cord. It has where you plug your cord in.
All we know is it doesn't take gas.
Right.
Right, maybe that's what it
That's,
has.
yeah, it
Maybe
just
that's
has,
why she keeps checking it out, is because it doesn't.
no, ours just, it's like,
Yeah, like a
you know, it just
blower.
has the,
Yeah,
it just has the, the
Yeah.
place to
Yeah.
plug
like
it
our
in.
hedge trimmer.
Right,
Yeah, yes. I
that's
bet
probably what
is.
it is.
It works for one cut, and then that's it.
But yeah, so the
She's like,
Create Space has
"Son."
been,
Gosh.
yeah, really
That's
good.
why it's leaking out.
Because why?
She's sawing with it, because she doesn't. I hope she's not listening
I know,
to
right?
this.
Right, she would know who we're talking
Well, that is a problem. Everybody could be listening to everything.
Right, I
Yes,
know.
yes, yes.
Hopefully she's laughing.
Okay, moving right along.
about. Yeah, so anyway, the Create Space is
It's amazing.
going well, and I did have a patron yesterday email me saying, you should circulate sewing machines. I'm like, we have two?
I was gonna
That
say-
is a great idea. So
I
I
was
think
gonna
I'm
say,
gonna
I
make
have
one
one
of
I
our
could
sewing
donate.
machines, or both, excuse me, circulating.
Do we still have that really complicated one?
We do.
Yeah.
We sure do.
Yeah.
But we could make them both circulating, and people could choose if they want the simple one or the complicated
Complicated
one,
one.
because they don't get tons of use.
If you know what you're doing, the complicated one is good. It's a
Is it one
great
of the
sewing
ones
machine,
that
but
can,
it's,
like embroider? Or is it
oh.
No.
It's not.
There's probably a digital one with.
It is a digital
Yeah.
one. It's like what costumers use.
Yeah,
Sure.
because it was Rachel's daughter who recommended it, and she was a costume.
Yeah.
So do you have a little like box on the wall, a lock box that says, "Do you love the Create Space? Donate here for."
No, we should just put a permanent.
Yeah, that's what I'm
that's a good
saying. One of
idea.
those like boxes with the slit.
Donate for
and
supplies.
that can lock. Yeah.
We could do that.
Put a chain link thing around it. I don't know, people.
I know.
We could
It's a
check it
mess,
every
man.
day.
That's the only thing about it that drives me nuts, is that it's a lot of work to clean it up.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to donate to the Create Space as they're leaving the library in a little donation bin, but if it's right there in the Create Space and they're
Right,
thinking,
yeah.
While
"Oh,
the
I'm
parents are
using
sitting
this,"
there
and
their kids are
Yeah.
doing
So
And it
maybe-
has to be
while they're-
higher,
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
But that is a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
All right.
Does anybody have any questions over strategic goal number 2, community hub? Moving right along. Strategic goal 3, services and collections. We will increase the use of our services by expanding the library's presence in the community by providing enhanced access to a variety of resources. So the first goal was purchase new foreign language adult fiction collection. So
See
Carrie's
the list?
objective was just to develop it. And she did.
Yes.
Yay.
It's done.
We see them going out. I attached a, I
Yep.
think I attached, yeah.
You did.
Yep.
Oh, I'm
Attach the
curious about that too.
statistics.
Where did you attach it?
It's after,
It's-
it's after
It's after
the, so the ones that haven't circled the zeros, a lot of those were ones that were just really recently added. So they haven't been sitting on the shelf that long. But when we go to Culture Fest in February, we're gonna take them and.
Yeah. Oh,
and
great.
Highlight them.
And maybe somebody can tell me where else I can get
More.
Punjabi and Urdu books.
Yeah, it's, I'll
So-
let you talk. I'm not gonna talk for you about.
So, and I will say too, Brittany got a really, really nice compliment one time when she was at the adult desk. Someone said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you have these books. Like, I speak 2 of these languages. My guess she probably speaks probably one of the Indian languages." She's like, "This is so great." She's like, "I can't even find some of these books on Amazon." I'm like, "That's because I got the one copy available." Because it's very, very
Yes.
hard to find these books.
Yes.
It's they don't sell them on Baker and Taylor. They don't sell them on Ingram. And when I asked the Greendale librarian, they also have Arabic, Hindi.
Pretty much the same things we have, I
They
think.
just don't have
She-
Punjabi or Urdu.
She didn't want to tell you because
Well-
she didn't want her source to
No,
be.
she didn't. She was very nice. I said, do you use anything besides Amazon? And she was like, no. Like, that's pretty much what I use. And I was talking to Sam about it, and I'm like, I might pass this off on to you next year because it's tough.
Yeah.
And even like, he's like, well, what if you search these publishers? I'm like, I've done that, Sam. And it's tough to find different titles. So I did buy a couple on accident because I don't know what they are, right?
Right.
Because I don't speak those languages. So I did buy a couple duplicates, but only like a few. So I feel like at least there's that, but
Do they cover the whole collection from children, young adult, and adult?
not young adult.
Bring
I mean,
us
I do
some.
actually
Yeah.
have in
Bring us some.
Arabic. I have some young adult books, but they're books that would appeal to adults as well. So
Sure,
like I got
sure.
Harry Potter in Arabic,
Oh.
and I got Hunger Games in Arabic. And then I also got some like English authors. So like there's some Danielle Steele. So that's easier to find. Like Arabic
Yeah.
books are much easier to find. Hindi books are easier to find, and I wasn't originally going to do Hindi, but like it's just
They go
very,
out.
very hard to
Oh,
find
yeah.
Punjabi and Urdu.
And the
It's
Hindi
very
books,
hard.
even though that wasn't listed as one of the languages, they go out.
Yeah.
They do.
We have
I was-
several residents that are Hindi. I wonder if, and there's a few that I know we could talk about another time, where I can ask another source who is well connected with some of the different ethnic groups in our city, if they would ever be willing to donate anything that they have, or when
Yeah.
they travel to visit family
Yeah.
to pick things up.
Oh,
Right.
so
I
that's
know.
a good
Yeah.
idea.
I was,
There's a lot
I
of
was gonna
people
say,
who
we could
do
ask,
that.
we could give Indu
Some money. Yes.
some money and say, pick up some books while you're in
there's
India.
a few people that I'm thinking of off the top of my head that they would probably love to.
Yeah, that
There's a
would
lot
involved
of
in a
people
lot
that
of
do travel
things
for
and-
long
Yeah.
periods
Yes.
of
as long as they're
time.
willing to either ship it back or,
Or bring it back
bring it
when they come back to
Right.
Franklin, when they go
Like
to visit
we'll pay for
family.
your checked bag if you want to fill it with books.
Right.
But yes, it's easy. So and that too is like it's easier to find the books at a like Indian bookstore, but they don't ship to America.
Right.
You know, so that's that's the struggle with like the Indian languages. Like I said, Arabic is much easier, but again, I don't think we're ever going to have shelves and shelves of these books.
Right.
Right.
So just so your expectations aren't like that we're gonna have a whole giant section of this. If we could start collecting Spanish, which in the future I think we probably should because we all have noticed that more and more Spanish speaking people are coming into the Franklin Public Library. And Brittany has Spanish language books and she does see that they check out quite a bit. I think it's something we should consider.
Carrie, what if you
collecting.
put a sign over by the area, we're trying to expand our collection but are having difficulty finding, if you have any knowledge of sources that we can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because those are people that are,
That's great.
Well, and ask for
into the-
donations too,
Yeah.
right away, well.
Yeah, I think I can try a sign.
Yeah.
Signs don't always work because
Right.
people don't read them.
yeah.
But I can definitely try a sign. I mean, I can put it on our website, I could put it on Facebook.
We could put it in the city newsletter.
in the city newsletter asking for,
I think
but also with
Culture Fest
donations.
is probably your best bet, to
Yeah.
get them right here.
The other thing too is I'm trying to keep it a fiction. I'm trying to keep it like
yeah.
secular. There's a lot of stuff out there that is heavily
Politicized.
and religious.
Yeah.
So that's another struggle because, I don't
Yeah.
want to get into that.
Yeah.
So, so that's also hard.
Look, there could be, there's a cycle of librarians, well, I don't want this or that political, religious faction, being a big factor in our collection. But then, of course, then you don't put them on a shelf, and there may be a demand for them, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I understand that,
Yeah.
so that may not change your policy, but it does result in a form of this problem that you have, is that people come in and say, like books about this, and you don't have them.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't have everything.
I'm wondering if, it'll be easy to get Hispanic.
Oh, that's
Totally
language
easy to
books.
get Spanish.
But,
Yeah.
but if you, I was thinking going to like a Middle Eastern grocery store and asking the owners if they would have a connection to ship printed materials in, because, if they're getting other things shipped in from overseas. So, that might be another way you could,
True.
to ask.
I just don't know what I would be getting then.
Well, no, I know that, I know. Or if you would even,
Like
yeah,
That's a good
You know
point.
who might be a good source to reach out to is Dr. Khan's Franklin School school board.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He's one of my constituents as well.
Okay.
And I have his phone number too, I can even give you.
Forgot
But
about
I
that,
bet he'd be more than willing to, being on school board and everything as well.
for sure.
well,
Let him know that I
One of the
referred,
only
let him know
school board
that I
members
asked
that
you to
returned an
call him.
email.
Maksud Khan.
oh, well, that's
His number is.
helpful.
I was on the school board with him.
Yeah.
What is his first name?
Maksud.
Oh.
I think it's
He
M-A,
totally comes to the library.
Yeah, I bet he does.
and he goes to the Middle East all the time.
Oh,
I mean,
That'd be
probably
good,
2-3 times a year.
Okay.
okay.
And he's on the school board, okay.
1-630-310.
Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe just give this to her later.
Yep.
It's not on public record.
Good point.
Look
Well,
at the
he's on
school
the school
board.
board,
He's
too,
on the
so
school
it's
board though.
okay.
It's-
Oh, are their phone numbers published on the?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've
Yeah,
tried,
see
I
what they
got it
are.
now though, so.
Yeah, my personal cell phone
Thank you.
number's all over. So
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but once you are in that position, you no
Yeah.
longer have anything personal.
No more privacy.
I don't know if there's this.
Thank you, that's
Yep.
great, I
And
will.
let them know
names.
too that.
Okay.
Just our names.
Okay. We don't even have pictures of us up.
You just have little shadow.
Little
people.
shadowy.
Anything that's probably.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on,
Yes.
create new kit collection for sensory-based items. At least 25% of new collection will circulate in 2023. That was Brenny's goal. I have a list. It's a much shorter list than Carrie's list, but, I mean, I was surprised at how
awesome.
long your list was, though.
I am kind of surprised as well. I'm
I was like,
Wow.
like,
wow.
$3,000 doesn't buy too much, especially when some of the books are like $50.
Yeah. So you can see very popular Snap and Learn Surprise Squirrels. But she's going to continue to add to them. She also wants to kind of pull them out. They want to read, that's part of the strategic,
Right,
the action
right.
plan, is they want to
Highlight
tackle
them.
the,
These out,
tackle the
did she get them
AV.
out?
She's still working on it. She said on Monday when she works at night, she said Jackie's here. Or Jackie's here sometime. And Jackie's been the one who's been cataloging them for her. She says, we're gonna pound out the rest of these Tonys.
I
Tonys.
wanna,
Yeah, they've, 1, 2, 3.
I've been telling people that she has them, so.
The
Like, I think-
5,
I don't know if any other libraries have them.
don't think so
doubt
either.
it.
the 5 at the end are ones that she just recently added, so they haven't gone out because they just were added, so, but so she
That's
met
rad.
that.
Yeah.
I've checked out a lot of the different sensory stuff too that she's.
Next goal, research and implement new formats to expand offerings in children's audio collection. At least 25%. Well, we all know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
all of the Wonder Books collection circulates. And we have a goal in the next action plan to add to them even more. And she met with a new vendor. She met with a new vendor called Vox Books yesterday. And they're like, Vox Books was first before Wonder Books. Wonder Books kind of, Playaway is the company, and they kind of copied, but they added to it. So they added like a learn component, which,
Vox did or Wonder
no,
Books?
Wonder Books did. So Wonder
Right,
Books
you
are a
can
little bit
flip
more
it over,
expensive.
right?
Huh?
The button on the books. Can't you flip it over and one is read to me and one is
Yeah, and I think with Vox Books, I think it's pretty much just gonna be read to me.
which is fine.
But she likes, they're sending us samples, and she likes kind of the way it is, that the box is down the center as opposed to at the bottom, because it's hard to make them stand up, and so, and they're less expensive, but they, like I said, they don't have the learn component, they just have the reading component, which is, she says it's fine, she thinks
Right.
it can be fine.
I think it's fine.
So our goal is to get that collection up, so it doesn't look like we have like 2 books all the time, or none.
Yeah, I've noticed there are a few more on the stand, but I know she got that big chunk, another big chunk, so.
Yeah, she got another big chunk, so she's gonna be ordering, with these companies, the first time you order, you get like a discount, and that's it. So she's like,
Oh, gotta make it a big order.
she's gonna make it a big order and get a good discount. So that's our goal for next year, which we'll talk about on Monday, or no, later,
Later.
sorry, not on Monday. I'm so confused, too many meetings.
Right.
Next goal, research and implement new formats to expand offerings in children's audio collection.
No,
Yeah,
that
I
was
just
one
talked
of
about that. Oh my gosh, I need more coffee, but it's decaf, it doesn't help me. Explore partnerships with local daycares to provide rotating collections of children's materials. Jubilee, that's the one that Laura's taking over.
Nice.
And we'll continue to look at other ones,
There's that new daycare now by Target.
learning
over there.
experience.
Oh, wait, no, Vox. How do you spell that, Vox?
VOX.
All right.
Anybody have any questions on services and collections? Okay, we'll move on. Marketing and awareness. This is always the fun one. I feel like you could market things to death and people would still say, I didn't know the
Yeah.
library.
Yes. Like you can say things to your children and they will say, you never told me that.
And you're
I think it's a human
only
thing.
10 times. First goal, revitalize FPL's presence on Facebook and Instagram by posting 1 to 3 library-related, non-news related posts per week. I think I related there twice. But anyway, increase reactions on posts by 25%. Sam did the analysis and said the reach, which includes reactions, page visits, the number of people who saw our posts, et cetera, went from 42,995 in 2022 to 54,631 in 2023, up 27%. So he did meet his goal. And I think Sam's been doing a great job posting. You know, the goal is to like post enough, but not slam people with posts, because nobody wants to be seeing constant Franklin Public Library
I'm
posts.
finally getting them on my Facebook feed because I had to keep searching them out for a little while. And
Oh.
yes, I see his posts.
Yeah.
The children's librarian seems to work a little bit harder on theirs.
Yep. Well, we can put that in their action plan. Increase awareness and usage of video streaming services available through the library by creating suggested viewing lists. Andy's been doing that. I think Andy's a movie person. He likes doing it. And I'm sending him every month. I get a list from Canopy of movies that have left Canopy, new movies that are coming on, so he can update his lists.
He stays on top of it, huh?
Yeah. Mhm. And meeting rooms. Movies and meeting rooms.
All right.
So that's been completed. Next goal, present the summer reading program in person at local schools to increase summer reading participation by 10%. Their participation increased by 12% for adults, 11% for teens, and 21% for kids. And I think that's because they were in person.
Yeah.
Total signups, 1,173 for all age groups. Last year was 1,005.
Oh, nice.
Just want to keep going up.
Yeah.
Next goal, to train staff to create targeted marketing emails and increase community's awareness of library programs and services, increase program attendance and resources by 10%. I've been trained on Patron Point. Carrie's kind of been a little bit trained on Patron Point, but we really need to ramp it up in 2024. But our programming, regardless, has increased 61% over 2022, with an 11% increase in the number of programs offered, which tells me,
Yeah.
even though we're offering more programs, obviously we get more more numbers, but the numbers are more than the
Programs.
programs. So there's more people coming to our programs. So that's a good thing.
Oh, these are cheaper than the Wonder Books. They're expensive.
Yeah. Goal is to next goal, highlight available create space technology, upload at least one video of a service to the library's YouTube channel. So Carrie and Sam created and uploaded a 3-part Cricut demo series to YouTube. Collectively, they have 648 views. So,
That's good.
Yeah.
and the nice thing is we can, if somebody needs to know how to use the Cricut, we can say, here is a video that Carrie made.
Oh, good. I need that.
I'll have to
Because
check it out.
have-
I've been wanting to try it out.
I've had a number of people like call and I said, well, did you I'm like, you just have to know how to use it or watch the videos. They're like, I watched the videos. I'm like, okay. Like, if you need help, like, I'm here at this time. I'm like, I'm happy to help you. But I can't like show you how to use, and it's the software you need to know how to use. It's not the machine. The machine, you press like 2 buttons and it does its thing. But it's the software that you need to know how to use. So,
We need to watch those.
and I am offering like Cricut Mondays. So like if somebody needs a little extra help, they can come in on a Monday night and I'll sit and work with them. So far I haven't had anybody schedule one, but I thought it was something at least I could try and offer.
Yeah, for sure.
So, because some people need like in-person help, right? They can't just
Yeah.
watch something on the computer and then immediately do it, but other people can, you know? So
Everybody's
I thought
different.
Trying to like meld the two together so I wouldn't have to keep doing these Cricut classes, which are, again, I think like, for me at least, like watching and doing at the same time, that's why I think the videos are good. It works much better than listening to somebody talk about it and then trying to go home and do it. But some people like, so, yeah, I just don't have time to do 2-hour classes all the time,
Yeah,
you know?
I like that, office hours.
Well, we
So it's
shouldn't
not like
expect
you're giving up
one-on-one.
time
Yeah,
for a class.
right. That too,
But
yeah.
you're still available.
I'm available. I could be like, hey, Brittany, I have a 5 o'clock appointment today. Could you pop over to the
Right.
adult desk for half an hour? Because they're
Right.
half an hour, you know?
Right.
So,
Right.
Next goal, further develop and interact with other community-based organizations and businesses at 3 or more events. Again, we knocked that one out of the park. We had our existing outreach events that we've been doing, multicultural fair, milkman game, partnering.
Concerts, yeah.
Franklin Parks, summer concerts, outdoor movie night, national night out, and trunk or treat. But we've had new outreach events, the All-Star Game with the Milwaukee Milkmen, outreach at Franklin Wellness Day, and our Enchant Franklin.
How did that go?
Good. They said it was good. They talked to a lot of people.
Good.
Did I put on here how many? We had 1,400 face-to-face interactions, and I did not put that on here, but
I didn't
we,
calculate
Laura and
that.
I keep a spreadsheet
Oh, wow.
of, and you know, for example, trunk or treat, yeah, there were 1,000 people there. We did not interact with 1,000 people. We can't put down 1,000 people.
Just
So-
because they registered, right?
Right. So we, you know, kind of think about, okay, how many people per, you know, 15 minutes did we interact with? And then we kind of calculate it. They're soft numbers, so they're not like,
Well,
but we know sometimes we probably under
oh, I'm
count.
sure,
We should
yeah.
carry a clicker.
Yeah, we could do that. We actually did do
Really
that.
hard. You'd be like-
Why do they keep clicking
I know.
every time I
Yeah.
try to talk to them?
We actually did do that for National Night Out. We had a clicker, didn't we?
I wasn't at that
I
one. I
know
was
at
at
least
trunk or
one year. I
treat,
know one
and-
year Laura G, I remember Laura G'd be like, click.
Yeah. Well, and I suppose that doesn't count too, if like I was at,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
I
just-
was at
You
National
were
Night
at
Out.
National Night Out.
I was at
this year.
National Night Out. So you're just counting employee interactions,
Because
because if
really,
the
board
board
members
was selling
should-
raffle tickets at the Milkman game, were you just counting people that came up to the table? So, you know, it is a
kinda
low
evens
ball
out.
number.
It's a low ball number. I mean, because if you just have a small, it had to be somewhat of a meaningful interaction.
Yeah, that's
Right,
true.
no, right, not just selling
"Hi,
tickets, but if they
here,
were
here's
talking
a-
about,
you know,
yeah.
Would you like a ticket? But something about the
Yeah,
library.
yep.
So, that's why it's, again, that number could be much higher if we were counting
pretty
everything.
conservative.
You
But
guys do a good job.
next goal is to create communication survey for staff to evaluate internal communication preferences.
Oh, this is under organizational health
Oh,
now?
did
Yep,
I
It's
move?
right, you
You
moved to a
did.
new section, yes,
Oops.
which is at the bottom.
Okay, so we're done with marketing and awareness. Are there any comments?
What came to mind here is like, for example, at the ball game, some of us, you know, will be walking around through the crowd and we're, you know, on what we were selling and all that kind of stuff, but, just crossed my mind is, there are these inexpensive vests that they're available for all kinds of things, and I'm wondering if,
I'm probably gonna do what the Lionesses did and have T-shirts, maybe do T-shirts.
I was gonna say at like the trick or treat you guys usually have.
Carrie made
I made
those.
Yeah, they're
those. It
cute.
doesn't say Franklin Public Library.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it still does help point out that you guys are the staff, though.
One of the things I'm gonna be asking the foundation for is some money for staff staff logo
I
apparel.
rubber stamp everything for her.
She does. I love having Annie on there. She's like,
Before anyone has a chance to think about it.
so that's what I'm gonna ask the foundation
Oh,
for.
so they can wear
Next
them in
week.
those outreach areas, that's a good idea.
And they could wear them here.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah. You know, we could all wear,
You know you have a big program
Well, I was thinking more, t-shirts are kind of personal,
Right.
so as opposed to the vest, you could turn it in, and it could be somebody's job to.
oh, that?
wash
Oh,
it.
I would just give them, I mean,
So I know a couple of years, some of the librarians, once in a while, there were like aprons with one of the summer reading
Yeah, we
programs,
did
something
apron.
like that.
Yeah,
Is that what
apron.
you're talking about?
that would be.
That
a
you
good
could
idea.
take
Well,
off and turn
we
in
actually
and-
did, at the Milkman game, I did hand out aprons for you guys to wear.
Oh, yeah, we did have the aprons.
Oh, now they tell us.
Yeah. I was there, and they didn't tell me why.
You guys
I was
were
there.
walking around naked?
Are you
Yeah.
sure? You did? Are you sure you
So to
didn't have one?
I'm not sure that was me.
It was,
He sent his evil.
I don't know
twin.
if everybody had one, but definitely the
people
sellers.
The
taking
sellers,
money,
The
yeah,
sellers had
ticket
them.
sellers, because they had pockets.
But, you know, again, the outreach, that could be part
Yeah.
of our outreach kit that Laura
Right.
wants to put together, is having something that you guys could wear that identifies, or us,
Right.
identifies us as the
It's the
library.
library people.
The aprons are a good idea for something that you can turn back, and then you still would have area up here to
Yeah.
decorate to.
I remember the pockets and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But were they frilly aprons?
No.
Workshop?
No, no, these.
Workshopping.
We were
Like
workshop
the
We were
members.
proud to wear them.
Lab ones, right?
So, okay,
All right.
anybody else?
You're all welcome for that trip through time.
I guess now we're moving, oh, that's why, because it's at the
Yes,
bottom.
it's right at the bottom,
That's why.
organizational
I flipped a
health, yeah.
page,
Yeah.
and, so we're moving on to organizational health. The library will continuously develop and implement well-developed and executed plans to strengthen our staffing, building and grounds, and finances. Goal, create community survey for staff to evaluate internal communications preferences. So it was overwhelmingly, they want email. Teams we use for kind of like quick stuff, like,
Okay.
you know, can somebody come out to the reference desk? I've got, just really quick things, but nobody wanted it for like
Yeah.
General.
Normal
important,
communication.
important
yeah.
stuff. They wanted email. One of the things I'm going to talk at our staff meeting coming up is that communication's a two-way street. And I kind of it's my pet peeve when I tell somebody something and they're like, well, we didn't know about this. Why didn't you tell us about this? Well, if you read your email,
I did tell you.
I did tell you. So sometimes I put read receipts on there so that I know. I put delivery receipts and read receipts on there, so I know. And I've got an idea of people who aren't, and we're gonna be following up with them, because that's important.
Super. Yeah.
I mean, I spend a lot of time
yeah. Yeah.
sending emails. Carrie spends a lot of time sending
You guys don't all work the
emails.
same shifts, so
Yeah.
that's why it's so key. You have to read
Yeah.
the emails to
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Yeah. So, and the people, some of the people are doing it they've got the time and they're techie. There's no excuse,
Right.
excuse.
Right.
I was talking about emails and how when we send an email and spend all that time, we need them to read them.
Yep, and really read them, maybe reread them. Like read them, then reread them.
Right.
And observe.
Take a test.
Take a test, yep, there will be a test after you read this email.
So that's been done. Work with Library Board Finance Committee to develop 2024 budget.
You
Did that.
Otherwise, you'd be in a lot of trouble.
Develop a 3-year plan with staffing, finances, and personnel to present to the library board. That one's kind of in progress. I mean, we did the 3-year budget projection. So we've got that. I mean, I've got the 2024 staffing. I'm already starting to work on my 2025 staffing. We're reviewing job descriptions. The 3 managements have been done. We still need to do our, the library assistants, clerks, and reference librarians and shelvers. But I'm not sure, I guess I need a little guidance on what you want me to do with this one.
I was writing something. Which one?
Oh.
the 3-year
The
plan.
3-year plan
Okay.
with staffing, finances, and personnel.
I think,
Think of,
I think the personnel committee has started to talk about this a little bit.
Okay.
So maybe it's something that the personnel committee could work with you on.
Maybe we could have a meeting.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep,
And I do think you present it to the board consistently when there's
Yep.
stuff going on with your personnel and needing changes and.
I mean, we made a change with one of our staff for, Laura Manuelson.
yeah,
You know, she's working more with kids now.
right.
Right. But you
She's-
also, instead of you were originally gonna hire one thing and then you guys decided you needed to hire a different
Yeah.
position.
Yep.
I mean, you're
I mean,
constantly telling us.
yeah.
Well, we try
Yeah.
to see how things go if we have one less person, and then when they don't go well, I'm like, well, yeah, we
Yep.
have to hire the second person.
Yep,
So, I mean, okay, so we'll have a personnel, because that'll make me
Yeah.
feel better about that, because that's the one area that I'm kind of like, well, I don't know if I really understand what I need to do. Next goal, work with city staff and library board to implement enhanced safety
Yeah.
and security measures. It wasn't done by June, but it's done.
definitely.
And it
yeah.
was done by August, I believe, so. It's July?
No, I think
July,
it was
August.
September.
Was it?
I feel like it was September.
Because
Life
they
just-
had to wait for some of the parking lot
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
nothing on your part.
Yes.
that-
No, 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 no.
Parking lot, the parking lot was a
I
trip.
thought it got
I'm
done
on
before the
technology
parking lot
commission
though.
too.
Yeah.
They had to run some of the stuff for the outside security.
Oh,
They had to wait for the parking lot to be tore up to run the,
but the inside was working
Was-
before the parking lot.
yeah, I don't
I'm
remember.
pretty sure because there was an incident.
Oh,
Aha!
yeah, that one.
Oh, yes, I remember that one.
That was hilarious. No, that was hilarious.
Jennifer wasn't there. Yeah.
Great.
I'm at the information desk and Brittany like comes walking over me like this. She's like, and I was like, what? She's like, there's poop on the floor. I was like, no. So she walks over there. I was like, it's third. So there's a poop on the floor
Groundhog Day.
all by itself, like out in the open. Like somebody could have stepped on it.
Where
Thank
you
you,
were?
God.
Oh,
Nobody
God.
did, right? Like walking from
By where we have that new books pyramid.
yeah, like out of the kids
Yeah.
area towards the door, you know, kind of. See, right? That's how I'm. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna stand here. Somebody go get something.
Well, because we have security cameras, we found
So
out.
I
Oh my God.
Carrie thought it was,
sizable. I thought it was an adult. one.
we thought, because that is a thing.
Yeah.
It is
That's a thing.
And so
So,
Brittany starts all these, you know, theories. As she does. And so I'm like, so then the IT guy from Franklin came in. I was like, are these these cameras like
they're live.
recording?
They're
right? He's
live
like,
and
"Yeah." So I'm like,
recording.
can we see? He's like, not yet. And he's working on it. And we explained what happened. He's like, no. I'm like, yes. So like, what? I think then you came back the next day.
I came
and we
back once I
found
got
it.
and trained. This is how pretty easy it is to use.
Yeah.
I hadn't even been trained on it yet, and I found it.
And she's like, and it was a Monday,
It was
and
a
you were
little
like, it was
kid.
a little boy. I was like,
It was a little
oh,
boy.
okay, like, cause I had, you know, Brittany like worked me up. I'm like, yes, God, just like
It's a little boy, and like
You wear gloves.
I did. Brittany gave
Oh.
me gloves. Yes,
sometimes
yes.
we even call maintenance to come clean some of
There
that
was
stuff
no
up because they've got
They have
the.
the
Yeah.
aisle.
No, we
has
got
the
gloves,
training.
and I
This
picked
is the mother
it up
and the
and-
grandmother and me to ask.
Right,
Oh,
right.
no,
Sorry,
totally.
but I'm used to
Imagine
picking
that
up
mom
dog
going
turds.
like-
that, like,
I know he pooped because I can see that he pooped, but
Yeah,
where
but-
is the poop?
yeah, I wonder because then you were like,
The
when,
mother never
Didn't
even
they
knew
take
because he
your
was
dog to
trailing
the
behind
hospital?
her, so he. she
yeah,
never knew.
yeah, but and it was so funny. But what did
Literally.
he do? He like walked and he was like. and he did something like that, like he knew it happened, and he was like,
Obviously, a child in training.
yeah, but it was so like it was kind of cute. I like,
was so cute.
I did have to watch the video a couple times just to look on his face when it happened.
Oh my gosh.
Did you tell the mom?
We don't
Oh,
know
we
who
don't
it is.
even
I
know
mean,
who
like
it
we
is.
don't know who it is.
This was during summer reading. There are tons of kids
It's just
around.
like-
I didn't recognize.
Nobody recognized who they were.
Oh my
Can
gosh,
we take a
Dad.
still of the security post-it?
No.
I'm joking.
Well,
there's-
yeah, but the mom
She had two
probably
kids.
is, like,
She had two
where
kids.
is the poop.
The McFliss TikToks. You guys could do one on that.
I know.
You would be, oh my God, they're
It
so good.
was so funny.
Oh, the MPL ones? Those
Oh
are
my
great.
God, yes.
Yeah, they're great.
They just keep getting better.
Yeah.
I loved the one where they were like roller skating did you see that one? Where they were roller skating to the Christmas music or whatever in the big atrium of the Milwaukee Public
I don't
Oh
think
my
I saw that
gosh.
one.
Oh my God, they've got these guys doing it. It's so good.
They are good at that.
Oh man, I thought, how much money do they pay this marketing team? Because
Those aren't, they're not marketing
They're
people.
just
They're just
regular-
people that work there and they
There are
love
people that
doing
work
it.
there
I
and they
did
like
say,
doing
I
it.
want to be in one of those meetings.
And they're
where
creative.
like, you get to do this. Like, because here's Brittany, right? I can see Brittany like planning and being
Oh.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you guys are gonna roller skate and dance.
All right.
They just
Kind of
follow
cute.
from from
As a
their
description,
majors.
it never entered my mind.
Oh, I know. Well, no, it's just like his face was cute because it was just like,
What did I just do?
He didn't say anything. He just kept walking,
yeah,
and I was like,
but he's like,
All right, moving
"Moving
on.
on."
but yeah. Anyway, they
speak,
were
yes.
working during summer.
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
so
That's
yeah
the whole point of that story.
yeah.
Excellent.
Next goal, not quite as exciting. Assistant director to work closely with library director to learn more of the director's role in the library, creating budgets, library board packets, open meetings. Assistant director will create at least one board packet and run a meeting. Well, Carrie got to do two meetings.
Too.
Ooh.
And we gotta
Plus
do
some
a
common
refresh
council
on
meetings
packet
or
stuff.
Oh yeah,
Finance
yeah. I just
committee
went to the
meeting.
very interesting. It was very interesting meeting with Johnson Controls at the city the other day.
Yeah,
It was very invigorating. Like that's the word. Like
Oh,
it's
shoot,
very
I wish I
exciting
would've
what
known
they
about
have
that. Yeah.
to present to the city, and I hope the city moves forward.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even know there was that meeting.
Me either. I went to the
I
last
think they
one.
were just meeting with like
The department heads.
Department
Yeah.
heads,
Maybe.
but nobody else came. It was just Joe and me. Like for
What?
all the other buildings, there was nobody from the police department or the fire department there.
And I will have you know that it was because
This was a Johnson.
we
Yeah, they
went to the finance committee meeting, Alan and Carrie and I,
before they present to
and
the
told them the
county
condition of our building and all the systems we needed replaced, that they said, oh, maybe we could work with Johnson Controls on this. So
yeah.
we initiated it, I feel.
I did
All
not
right.
know, but I did put the slide, in your packet for Monday evening is a slide on, the Johnson Controls presentation.
Excellent.
All the slides are in
Okay.
there. So that's been done.
Okay?
Present to the library board on future library plans and projects. Present plan to the library board in September. Well, I ended up doing it the December meeting, but it's completed.
Yep.
And it's nice to have that because now
Yeah.
this is what I'm working toward. I mean, this
Right,
is kind of
right.
like,
And it'll fit into our strategic plan coming up, you know. It'll be a starting point.
next, increase cash and/or in-kind donations from local businesses and organizations. Make 10 contacts within the local community. We do have the list. We did get the FJ Chiropractic donation. That was one. Cost replaced all the headphones.
Does SAS ever give us anything?
Who?
The funeral home right across the street? No?
I could try. I'll put them on my list. What we're looking for right now are businesses, like banks, credit unions,
They're
insurance.
business.
Yeah, and they make a,
A highly
Yeah.
Wait a minute,
profitable-
SAS?
SAS funeral
yeah.
home?
They're right behind the bank.
They make,
Max Sass. They-
Maxie Sass,
Maxie
the owner lives in
Sass.
Franklin as well.
oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
he's a Franklin guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Hit them up.
I will.
There's other, one of the largest donators in the entire city that has been for many years and above NML and everything too is another business I can tell you. They're located on 27th Street, way down.
What is that?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you'd want to reach out to them, but I mean, that's huge donation.
Who? Oh, they
Oh.
donated quite well to the library when it was built.
I couldn't
Yeah.
hear it, but I read lips.
Yeah, I mean, just for help with the Wall Street Journal, the value line is over $1,000.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, SAS is, I mean, they're our neighbor, first of all.
Right.
You know,
I know. Yeah.
It's a highly profitable company.
Yeah, for sure.
And the owner lives in Franklin.
Okay,
So,
Just
yeah,
some
we
ideas.
can. I mean, we say we're looking for,
I haven't seen them donate to a while.
Money
that's what
something.
I was thinking that, because I
They
was
used
delivering
to.
flowers there, and I was
Yeah,
like,
we did use
They
how
to.
come
used
they
to,
don't
but
donate to us?
They
The
have a
father,
million
the
funeral homes
Yeah.
around the city too. They're everywhere.
Maybe that's the difference.
I mean,
That's
not
what
only
used to.
are they our neighbor, but he's also a
Franklin.
resident.
Franklin,
right, right.
You
I had
know,
no
so-
idea that
Yeah.
he was a
Yeah.
resident here.
yeah. So I think we can add them to the list, but we're looking for kind of like sponsorships of our larger, because our newspaper subscriptions are going up and up.
And
I
Valley
mean, they
Line
should
is like,
totally do the Journal Sentinel and the obituaries right there. They can put their
yeah.
logo.
Oh my
Or
gosh.
we'll just put it right, we'll put it right on the front of
You're a
the,
good marketing girl.
All righty.
Just
Are we
for-
done with, this part of the action plan,
I
or the
think so.
2023?
Unless anybody has any questions about organizational health.
All right, then let's take a quick,
Yeah.
break here. And we, about 10 minutes, and then we will go into the 2024 action plan. All right? Pause. There we go. It is now 9:42, I guess, and we're starting again after our break. We have 5 strategic goals to go through in the 2024 action plan, and with the time we have left, that would be like 15 minutes per goal.
Okay, let's
So keep that in mind. I'm gonna make just an 2 overall general comments about the plans. Number 1, if we, for example, in the 2023 action plan, you update us every quarter on the goals and the progress that you've made and if they've been completed or not. So when those goals have been completed, maybe mark in this last column that completed quarter 2. And then maybe at the end of the year, you wouldn't have to
Talk about them.
talk about them as much,
Okay.
like this. It just might be a time saver,
Because we've already talked about it.
Right. So,
Can I make a general comment
Yeah.
about this? Because when I was reading through it, Mike has mentioned that what kind of things are we doing for seniors? And I didn't see a lot of things that targeted seniors at all.
Well, we can talk
Yep.
about that, yeah.
Okay.
the other thing, and so Mike and I met earlier this week because he knew he wasn't gonna be here this morning. So some of my comments are comments from Mike and some are comments from me, but one comment that, and this is just a personal thing, that he has a hard time sometimes with percentages. Because if you say, will increase by 25%. Well, there's, 25% of 1,000 is a lot different than 25% of 10. So if there's ever an instance, and I know that, like for the Facebook marketing, there were very specific numbers that he analyzed, that we had X amount of numbers in this time period, and they went up to this number in this time period. So if there's an opportunity to give numbers, I don't know if that would work into the goals, but, so sometimes.
Or maybe to just use the other number when you're using the percentage to tell us what body that's out of, like.
Right, something like that. So
Yeah.
that was his a comment that he had, that,
Yeah, but, put how you calculate the percentage and use the percentage. And
Correct.
That might be good for some person and.
Right.
yeah, And some other way would be the best way to communicate it for the.
Yep. So, okay. So, our first strategic goal is programming. The goal has not changed the entire 4 years. We will provide quality programming and events that deliver value to our community while best utilizing the resources of the library. And go ahead and tell us about your goal.
Oh,
Well,
go ahead.
Do a procedural thing here, I guess I'll call it. We've got the stuff that's quarter 1, quarter 2, and so forth. And when are we reporting that? The following quarter? And for the fourth quarter, or for the whole year, are we reporting by for our first meeting of the next calendar year?
Yes, we always do. So for the first quarter of the action plan, we report in April because January, yeah. So
Okay.
it's like April and then July, you
Yeah.
know. So this was the report of not only the final, but quarter four.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
If anyone's wondering. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
So like all the stuff that's due quarter one that I have listed as quarter one, I would report on in April.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So develop programming for all ages in the create space utilizing tools and technologies we own. The goal would be to implement 4 new programs, 1 each quarter in 2024. That's Carrie. Did you want to talk about that?
So, sure, I already have a new program happening in there, and it started, and I had one already. So it's, right now I have it planned January through March, which I guess would be quarter one, correct?
Yeah.
It's called Tinker Time, and my goal is to utilize our STEAM technologies, so the science, technology, engineering, art, and math. So it differs from STEM by incorporating that art aspect, and art also includes like all the arts, so music, art, etc. Theater. Although I don't think I'm doing any theater. Although maybe I'll get Penny in here to like teach them a
Yeah.
song from pageant. I don't know. She would love that. That's a good idea. So it's called Tinker Time, and it's every other Monday evening. And it really is, I put on the flyer that it's for all ages. And what I meant is like, it's for adults too. Like, come have fun. Be a kid, right? What we think of as a kid. So I had a Lego challenge 2 Mondays ago, and I had 15 people come.
Oh, that's a pretty good.
I was disappointed.
Oh,
I was disappointed, but Sarah was like, "That's really good." I was like, "I wanted like 40."
in that room?
A lot of it's timing though.
Oh, for sure.
No. I'll just keep it quick, so I don't have time frame. A week from today is the grand opening for that new Lego place.
I know.
So I wonder if there's a way that.
I know. I wanted to reach out to them once they're like, but I definitely want to reach out to them for something for summer, because if they're like the place in Tosa
Oh, yeah.
who does,
Yeah.
They
all
do
the
that
Lego
Lego
stuff.
stuff at Tosa Library.
and they do
Yeah.
it. They did it at Penny's school too,
Yeah.
and they are awesome. And I'm hoping to maybe make a connection with them to do more Lego stuff, because Legos are timeless. Everybody loves playing with them, and they're huge. So it was families. So I didn't know what it would be. So if it wouldn't have been like, different families, I would have made teams of people together to get to know each other. But it ended up working out nicely because it was individual families. But we did these Lego challenges. The adults at first, a couple of them were like, "Okay, you can do it." I'm like, like adults too, you gotta. And there were a couple of people there that mostly the dads were like all into it,
Yeah.
but the moms totally got into it too. But it was fun. And so this coming Monday is create your own comic book. So that's kind of more on the art side of things. I'm trying to kind of like every other do like an art-based thing, because I personally believe that art leads to all the other things, right? So that's running through March. If it's popular, I'm going to keep it going. But this is like my test for it.
I do have to say, even like your promotional, everything is super bright and colorful and very attractive. Like even all the ads.
That is
everything.
Janice.
So
That I can't
exciting.
take
That's
any credit
Janice,
for
yeah.
that. I asked Janice to make the poster for me.
We sometimes still ask Janice
Yes.
to do
Well,
stuff for
I
us.
saw it all on Facebook, so that's not even.
Oh yeah, I did do that. But thank you. So that's my quarter one that I can already say is accomplished. But yes, I definitely want to contact that. I was so excited to see that was opening in Franklin. Like I can't wait to go. But yeah, so I'm hoping to possibly get Sam worked into some of these too, to help me with some of the more technical things. I am doing a coding program, but I have no idea what I'm going to do for you.
So does anybody have any comments or questions on that goal? Was that one that came up? Okay. Moving on, hold new and improved tech programs. That's a Sam. So he's going to increase tech programming with 2 additional programs. And he doesn't really want to rewrite. He thinks he's got a good, successful base of tech programming. He just wants to improve upon it.
That was my question. What does new and improved is not my favorite
Just, I think what
term.
Sam is saying is
Like,
after.
it's not very detailed,
After
but,
several years of doing these
Uh-huh.
programs,
uh-huh,
he knows that there's some things that need to be changed, so that's what he's planning on doing
Gotcha.
in
Okay.
2024.
I have also individually asked Sam to do maybe some more, or think about doing some basic computer classes, because I still do get quite a few questions about it. And I said, I know it's kind of a logistical nightmare to do that, but in our review, I did ask him to try and just think about it
yeah.
and think about how you could do that.
Well, I was gonna wait till the end of this section to say this, but piggyback on Alan's comment about, we don't see specific senior stuff in here. With our new connections at like Brentwood with the Littles and Legends, could we maybe offer taking a program to them that is using some of the Create Space tools or equipment or just
That they could be able to
ideas
get here.
that they, right, and, or do a program over there, or take a basic tech program and instead of offering it here, have Sam go over there and do it on site.
I think like,
So, I mean,
yeah, I think that's a great idea, especially using Libby.
I
Utilizing
mean-
those, like, a program like that to take to the seniors at some of those.
Yeah.
I think that would be,
So just
So
some
isn't that
feedback
more
to you
outreach,
guys
though?
to combine
That's
with
what I was
outreach.
looking, I
Yeah.
think it would be
so-
more outreach.
Yeah,
yeah.
Right, because what is our ultimate goal here? If it's for an outreach goal, that makes sense. But
yeah, right.
As far as like
This-
our programming, the point is to get people into our library to utilize it, to get the higher door numbers and everything. So if we take too much outside of the library, we're not necessarily getting those numbers into the library to prove, hey, we have this many people coming into our library utilizing what we have, and that's why we need.
But maybe
So many
exposing them to what we
employees.
have here too,
Yeah.
and maybe it's taking it to them first. But,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and sometimes even though it doesn't look like we're doing senior programs, I'm going to tell you that Sam's tech programs are a senior program.
Right,
My craft
They are.
programs.
I'm sorry, Alan.
right.
My cooking programs
I remember
mostly are
that.
senior.
Sure, sure. And
The
so,
one technology one that I just thought of, but maybe just to have them think about is, because they do their podcast, right?
Yeah.
What about like how to set up a podcast, but then to do their podcast live or something, something that wouldn't necessarily be like a ton of work, but,
Yeah.
or maybe just maybe it is just a totally different program or something. Invite people to listen when they record their podcast.
And the
Because a
next,
podcast is good.
yeah, the next goal, again, is probably going to be seniors. The
Sure.
monthly classics movie program, I don't think are going to have a lot of millennials and younger come
The
into
movies are
that.
a senior program anyway,
Yeah.
so,
really.
did you just put Q4 there because you're gonna be doing them all year, you're not starting? And-
I didn't
mean,
really
mean,
want to
How to say that?
in April, I didn't want to be like, well, Andy showed
Right.
Mr. Blanding builds his dream house.
Okay, yeah, right,
I'd
okay.
come for that, that's a great movie.
Oh, we just watched it the other night again. We watch it every year.
Yeah,
What is it?
Mr.
Mr.
Blanding
Blanding
builds his dream house.
The Thurber story.
Yeah.
And how many
Never heard
movies
of it.
does he plan attending? Or-
Monthly?
Monthly.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
200.
Yeah.
So does he have one
It's
planned
very
here for
bad.
January?
Well, that's a good question because he hasn't get started
Yeah,
if we're
yeah.
going to meet that goal.
Yeah, well, I was just curious.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what it
I don't
was.
think he has it planned for January.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And,
So we should talk to him about that. He's been really busy with the local hub stuff.
yeah, I'm sure.
Target FPL off days in summer to provide more school age programs, because I know that's one thing that you guys have commented on. When we do the annual report. Just, it could be a little tricky, but if we target those off days and
Yeah.
then, of course, summertime. For example, we just had our games with a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was 84
yeah, how
kids,
was that?
84
Really?
kids.
There, the parking lot was full when I came in, yeah.
I knew a few
It was
that went
a
to it. They said
cold
it was a huge-
day.
Right.
Yeah, and the police, they were actually advertising it too. I saw some
Yep.
police people advertising online. And
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
had it on my
Yeah,
It
it's-
circulated quite a bit through, and
Yeah.
I know personally a few people that attended and they really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so we're hoping that will be a month, that'll be monthly, yearly, a yearly
Yeah,
program
yeah.
on Martin Luther King, because
Yeah.
it seems the schools are usually closed on
Yeah.
MLK Day, so.
And could you encourage your staff to provide, maybe, I know Sarah and Bernie are, that's a goal for them, but like middle school and high school programming too on those days off?
Well, that'd be Laura,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyways, to
Yeah.
have her think about it. So.
so include Laura in that for
Yeah, I
teen.
would include Laura.
I mean, yeah,
So I'll say,
I know that's
Teen,
kind of
yeah.
under,
Of
because
course.
she put some of her goals under outreach that had to do with middle school, or her teen programming,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's, that's where her job description falls, but.
yeah.
A question Mike and I just had, maybe at some point you could show the board, I don't know if we've ever seen the actual evaluation. I mean, do you have the same exact form or thing that you use for every single program?
For the surveys?
Yeah, the surveys,
it's the
okay,
same.
maybe just show us.
It's short. It's a
Yeah,
5
yeah.
question. I think I did it one time, but it's been a while.
So I'm
It's a
wondering if,
question.
and this is something maybe for MCFLS, you know how when you go to certain websites, it asks you, would you take a short survey after you're done? I wonder if on our checkout screens, on the self-checkouts, if we could have a pop-up and just, would you have a few minutes to take a survey to hit some of the people who don't come to the programs, but who are checking out books?
That would be a biblioteca question, because that's
Gotcha.
our,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's.
So how come Cudahy's, when I do use self-checkout at Cudahy's, it's really different than ours? They must not use biblioteca, oh,
No, they use biblioteca too,
I
but
think ours are just that.
ours
are
are
really
old. That's
Okay,
why.
all right.
That's why it's in my.
Gotcha.
in
Okay.
My plan to replace them next year.
gotcha.
Because I bet the new ones you could do a survey on.
And
There was all kinds of stuff I could do on that
Those-
self-checkout screen.
Jennifer, I don't know if you
I could-
remember what a pain it is to put stuff on there to advertise
It's a pain.
programs. It's
It's a pain.
Yeah, well,
horrible.
all right.
It's so bad we don't
It's a
hardly.
goal to
have-
look
Don't do
forward
it.
to.
I wonder with the new meeting room setup thing and once you guys figure that out, when people are signing up for programs and stuff, I wonder if you
I'm trying to hit people who don't come
don't
to
go. I
prom.
know, I'm just
Yeah.
wondering if that would be
That
another
would-
place to put a survey.
Sure.
So,
Oh.
because maybe it would be like either they have taken that program or maybe it would be a different.
Right, okay.
Whatever, or to advertise even.
Yeah.
Like some of the adult programs.
I mean, surveys should be part of all of our programs now.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with Maria, reaching those people who aren't using them. We have to do a better
Right,
job
or-
of
And
that.
just show
Like,
us, I
print
think,
them out. You might have to just like print them out and let people take them, but you're probably never gonna see
You're
that.
never gonna get them
No.
back. I wonder if we could put a survey on Beanstack.
oh, see? I mean, like, stuff like
Like-
that.
And you could give them, and if they take it, they could get an extra ticket.
Maybe something like that.
Oh, I bet you can
Ooh.
because you
That's a
do
good
all
idea.
There
the
we go.
questions on there.
Like I
that
feel
you
like
have to
I
fill
could
out.
add that
And-
to the
and there's
winter
a lot
reading
of people-
program right now even, because it's like we still have over a month left.
And there's a lot of people who do Beanstack who don't even
Who
come
do-
in the library.
Yeah, and who don't come to our programming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's a good idea.
And a question,
Okay.
and it may be a different kind of survey, like, do you come to our programs? If not, why not? And,
Yeah.
would you come if, something like that, so, okay.
So-
And then show us the evaluation that you use and some
Create
of
a
the
s-
results, or I don't know, he wanted more of I assume that the evaluation process is not going away. It is now in place and it's continuing, correct?
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I mean, I look at all the surveys.
Right.
Carrie will set them on my chair, or when I'm doing them, I just flip through them. And again, it's always, I want more programs, just like the one I went to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, there are different ones. Like somebody wanted a travel series.
Gotcha, yep,
So,
yep.
kind of
okay.
like, okay.
All right.
So create a survey in Beanstack.
I'll try, yeah.
Say one in summer, one in winter, one in summer.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know that you need to make like a separate goal. You can just put that into
Yeah,
the goals that you already have. You don't have to add on to your work, just,
I mean, I can just do it. It doesn't have to be a
Yeah.
goal. I can just do it, like
Okay.
on Monday.
yeah.
So
Right,
don't
there
add
you
it to
go.
the action
Yeah, you
plan,
don't
just
have
do
to.
No, I
it.
don't think so.
Add it
No, I'm
Okay.
just saying, like, I think I can do that right away.
So do you have any other?
Nope.
Okay.
Anybody have any other questions or comments about the programming goals that the staff has developed? I
should have made a comment at the beginning that one of the reasons why this
I was
action
just
plan's a
about to
little
say
bit
that.
lighter than normal is because we've got some things coming up. They're going to take a lot of time. Number one, the strategic plan is going to sap a lot of my time. The carpeting project will sap a lot of my time. We're getting a new discovery layer on our OPAC, so you're used to County Cat now, it's gonna change
oh okay.
May or June. They want to
What
get
is
it done by
that?
summer. Well, they have to get it done by the end of June because that's when our contract with
Rolls out.
the one that we use now.
For what? I'm totally confused.
It's the discovery layer on our OPAC. So when you go to County Cat,
Okay,
that's it's called a discovery layer.
okay,
And I'm blanking out. What is it now?
Encore.
Encore, and we're moving to Aspen.
okay.
It's going to look totally different. And it's going to be awesome, but people are going to freak out.
Yeah. We might need to do a program on that.
We are already
We are.
planning that. So
Maybe that's another
so
video.
MICFLIS
Yeah.
for a month, MICFLIS will have overlap. So you can go back to using Encore or vice versa. You could try
Oh, good,
using
it's right in the middle
Aspen.
of summer.
Well, it's actually a little
It'd be
bit
great if it were
before, because
Right.
it's a little bit before summer. I think they're hoping to have it up by summer reading. So that's going to take a lot of time because we're going to have to Sam's already planning to do some classes on it. But it is going to be better. It's going to be better than what we have
Yeah,
now.
it's just that transition and how
People are
doing-
going to, yeah.
Yeah, especially if it's running up against like summer reading. and
Exactly,
Traveling
yeah.
and like, yeah, people are gonna get
But-
irritated.
But there are features in it things that they can do now that are so much better
Like
than
what?
the old one. You know how when you search for a title
Mhm.
and you get 3 million records because you get the audio book, everything.
And you have
It's
to-
all going to be under one. So you'll search for a title. Do you have a sample? I can send you guys a link.
why don't you present it and let's
I don't
move
wanna
on
talk
with our
about it, yeah,
action
'cause I know
plan?
we-
Yeah, I don't have a
Yeah,
sample at the moment.
What was
Yeah.
the Blandings in that?
there we go.
There's a book, there's a movie, there's a, yeah.
Right, right.
Okay, cool.
Okay, any other suggestions, comments on programming?
I thought, yeah.
All right, then the community hub, the library is the center of the community and will work to foster and grow our role as a community connector. And I see the first two goals are related to that new local hub.
Yeah, those are Andy's.
Right, and so, let's see.
So the first
Mike's question again was, like, how many hours are we talking about? Because 25% doesn't really give, like, is he spending 15 minutes a day working on this, 15 hours a day? You know what I mean? Like,
I can ask him how many hours he thinks he spends a day. I would imagine it's hefty.
Right.
It probably would
I-
surprise the library board to learn how many hours
I'm sure.
he spends
No,
on
I know.
meeting rooms,
So,
So the first quarter, did you have anything else?
no, go through those two and then maybe you'll answer.
So Andy's goal was first to get used to local hop from the staff side.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sam's actually doing that part.
oh, Sam's doing that
The
part?
Implement Library Program online self-registration,
Oh.
Sam's doing that.
Did I put Andy down when I should have put Sam?
Yeah.
Which one is,
The second one,
So
I'm
Andy's the
assuming.
second one with
Sorry, okay.
the meeting rooms, but Sam already sent out an email to us with the process of how to do our events and such.
Sam's
and
already on it.
because I want it,
You know what,
Like,
that actually could be changed probably to quarter one.
I think Sam's already completed that quarter one.
Wow, Sam is
So,
starting out 2024 strong.
so I guess the question is, like, is that an action plan goal or is that administrative stuff? Are you gonna do programming on teaching people how to use it? Are you gonna create a video on that,
We could, I mean,
I don't know
I
what,
don't think it's necessary.
okay, all
it's
right,
pretty,
If they don't know how to do it, they can call and we'll do it for them.
perfect, okay.
so yeah, Andy's first part in quarter one, he's already working on that too.
Yes.
But the first first part will be us getting used to it. We're not unleashing it to the public yet,
Right, okay.
because we need to make sure there's no glitches. Like, for example, he did something yesterday, I should have gotten an email, and then we figured out I didn't get the email because I'm staff. It was in the staff part. So I said,
Gotcha.
well, you should have put me in. Never
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the local HOP goals.
Good.
Create a more welcoming play area in the children's department for kids of all ages. That's Sarah and Brinny. They want to have it ready by the start of summer reading program.
That's pretty vague. Like, what do they have in mind?
Yeah.
Like, what's not welcoming about it? What are they looking for? Like, creating a more efficient, that would be my question to them for this goal to
Be more specific.
well,
Flesh it
or
out
to
a bit.
like I know you have a whole, last month at our board meeting, you gave us the whole redesign vision for the library. Is that, are they talking a major redesign, or what exactly?
I know
guess,
one of the
yeah.
things they talked, because they just sent these to me in email.
Gotcha,
didn't really-
okay.
But one of the things they have talked about is there's a lot of the toys around the tree area, the little things
Yeah.
that need to be replaced, that need to,
Okay.
that broken.
Okay,
So I know that's one thing they want to get new stuff
okay,
for the tree area.
okay.
But I can ask them on Monday to flesh it out a little bit more
They
for the
need
meeting on
that
Monday night.
Amazon list, I bet people will buy it for them. I bet
Yeah.
people would.
Or if they
Or what
could
about
just,
gently used
they-
toys, like if somebody.
or if they could just tell you so that you could include it in your report, that what, some more details.
Yeah, I will talk to them on
about
Monday.
that, and obviously, they will, it's within budget, and they're so good about that,
Yeah, they are.
Well,
or
also asking the
reaching out for the
foundation for money
foundation
when
or
we need it.
Patrons.
Okay, did you have any others, notes on that from you and Mike's discussion?
No, just, I guess, are they specifically talking about the play area around the tree, or the whole kids department, children's department?
I'm gonna talking a lot about the tree area.
Okay,
Is it
Okay.
Lakeland Toys? What's like? right
Lakeshore.
Lakeshore.
Lakeshore
They're-
Learning.
Is it them that are, they're like in Milwaukee?
Oh, no, you're thinking of the learning
Is
shop,
it?
which is gone.
No, not the learning shop.
No.
No, there's like one of the businesses, they build classrooms.
oh,
But they have all like, that's why I was looking at the board there, because they sell like all that stuff. Like,
Okay.
Could be Lakeshore Learning, but I didn't think they were in Milwaukee.
yeah, I think they have a hub, maybe it's just a
Yeah.
hub here or whatever, but I'll do research.
Demco's not here.
Demko's in Madison, but
No idea.
there's
Yeah.
that place in Fort Atkinson, but they're not really, they're more like educational supply, science-y. Is it
I just wonder if they would
NASCO?
donate stuff, that's all. I was
Yeah,
thinking if they needed new, or donate.
they did, one of their goals too, and it's not in here, was to put stuff on our wish list on the website.
For sure.
I actually gave them password, permission to go into that wish list and
Okay.
add to it.
I don't know how often people see that.
Yeah, I
I
don't ever
don't,
see
but
it.
but FJ, that chiropractic place was looked there,
Okay.
so it does work sometimes, I mean,
This is where, again, I think they should have a QR code on the programs that
Yeah.
they hand out, because then people take those home.
A little off subject, but is really good at donating, that wants to do and bring a lot more into the community, is Saputo.
oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good
I
idea.
have a connection.
Yeah, that's a good
Whoever
idea.
reach out to me,
I don't
remind
know who
me.
that is. or what that is.
I have a great
They're a
connection.
new
I have the
cheese
name of their
shop.
head at HR.
Like
Uh,
cheese business, they
factory.
just
In
built
the-
a huge factory.
In the
In the
business
business.
park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
I have
that's a great
contact.
idea.
That's a good idea.
That was spoken to the HR person. They're looking to do things. I know that
Maybe
maybe
they
a
could-
project partner with the library.
Around
be awesome.
Christmas time, they always have those like giving tree kind of things. Could we do something that during summer reading, donate to the,
We had
Children's
talked about doing
area.
one-
We talked
we
about-
had talked
where they
about
have
doing
little
that.
tags? I mean, people
Yes,
maybe are
because
more
in
willing to
summer, people
take a
have more
tag
money.
and,
They're not, yes, I was just thinking that.
I
That's a
don't
good
know.
idea.
Yes. because
Something like
Christmas
that.
time,
Not just, not where they would have to go to a list on our website or
I think
something
people
like
like
that.
donating
Stuff.
physical
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
They do.
Yes.
So even if they had it and was gently used at home or.
A
Except,
duplicate. you
except
know,
snowshoes.
like
Nobody will
toys.
give me snowshoes. I'm really
I have
upset.
some snowshoes.
I do too. I use them.
I've never used them.
Yeah, me too.
You
All
don't, you
right.
have some and you never use them? Donate them to the library because then you could check them out when you want to use them.
And other people could use them when you weren't.
Yeah.
I think I have 2 sets actually.
Okay. and
Okay.
That's your last?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Anybody, other comments from you guys on the community hub goals that the staff put together?
Okay, we'll move on. Services and collections, this is where the Tonys come in, Doris. I mean, she's already, like Carrie said, working on cataloging them so we can get them out. I'm not sure why, but Q1 and Q4 is the when? I'm trying to think.
Starting,
She's starting in Q1. I guess maybe that's what I was thinking.
or
And
maybe
then
to get a
quarter-
75%,
Analyze.
we cover
Yeah.
an annual, yeah.
Like I would have to report on that obviously after the year is done.
Right, I think maybe,
I'm sure it's going to have 75% is,
yeah. I'm sure it'll hit
It's
that
gonna
by
hit
the
that.
end of February.
I could probably do 95%. So that's Brittany's goal. Create a unified media area, and this is what we were talking about before. They got the Caterpillar over here with all the kits on it.
That's
they're
what we were
gonna go
wondering
through-
what
they-
the Caterpillar was.
The Caterpillar is right out these
Okay.
doors.
The holder.
That's what we figured, it must
Yeah.
refer to a specific holder.
So they want to kind of get those more over with the other media.
Gotcha.
Be more visible. And then it sounds like Brittany wants to use the Caterpillar for her sensory kits.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
They also are going to weed through a lot of those.
I never know where stuff is.
A lot of people
Around
don't
here.
have CD players anymore, so having those kits with the CDs in them, they're not circing, they can go. It's just kind of the same for the audiobook. Sarah said the audiobooks really aren't moving that much in the children's area anymore.
Why would they when you have the Wonder Books?
Wonder Books or Hoopla,
Libby.
Yeah.
I know.
Libby.
They're at their auntie and uncle's today, and I'm like, "Did you bring a book?" And she's like, "Mom, I have my phone." I'm like, "Do you have a book on Libby?" She's like, "I can get one." So it's like, yeah, she's like, she doesn't even need to come to the library anymore because she just reads a book on her phone, which makes me a little sad.
Except my daughter, when I would suggest that, she'd be like, well, sometimes I just want the physical book.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Penny doesn't care.
Oh, okay.
My girls don't read anything on their phone. But,
So that's
yeah.
Sarah's goal is to kind of highlight I think by weeding out, moving them, it's going to increase the use of
Circulation,
them.
yep.
I can't wait till you redo this area. I just think it's like,
It's very cramped
It is.
Yeah.
And
it is.
choppy.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
and choppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's because it started one way and you've added so many
Yeah.
things and just.
right, there's a total different
So now
function.
the
20 years
the
later.
reorganizing of it is a good idea.
Create 2 training videos on digitization equipment. That's Sam, because his goal is to kind of reduce our time working
Yeah.
with patrons. If we could just point them to the video and they can look at it.
Or
So
maybe suggest to him what you do with the cricket. Have specific, one, a
I think that's
hour
what-
of one of
Yeah.
his shifts as a drop-in
Well,
to,
he already
Oh,
does that for
yeah,
tech time, for
he
tech
does.
help.
Oh, okay.
Every Tuesday. I think I understand
Yeah.
what he's saying is like, he could be like, okay, well, you have to watch this video and then just let me know when you want to come in. I'll have the equipment set up.
Right,
If you have
that's a
any
good idea.
questions, I'll be
Mhm.
here, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
gotcha.
Instead of having to take
That
half an
same
hour to
amount of
train that
time,
person.
yes,
when
he
they
can
could watch
have
a
that
video.
half hour. Yeah,
Yeah.
good idea.
Ooh.
Next goal, analyze and reorganize the library's nonfiction DVD collection to weed out non-used DVDs. We've been talking about this for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Nobody's checking out those how to refinish your hardwood floors because you can find all that online.
And better stuff,
And,
probably.
and newer and yeah, so there's, sad to say, but it's time for those to go. It kind of,
They ask them to send them to Stu's.
oh, Stu's?
Yeah.
Oh,
There
any of those,
Franklin business owner too.
Right.
Is that
okay.
in Franklin?
No.
I was gonna say, Stu's is not in
But the
Franklin.
owner is.
oh, you
Oh,
mean,
okay, I didn't know
do you
that.
want the DVDs or you mean just,
No,
no?
send the people there instead of
Oh,
doing their own. Whatever the business plan.
So it's time for those to
Sure, if you
go.
would like to redo our floors.
I know, I'm like, would he like to put in like a new
Right.
floor for my house for free? Cause I work in the library?
I know, for free.
You could film a video of him doing it.
I
And it could be
could.
advertising.
There you
for-
Decreased by 50%, yay.
I mean, we really want to see
Yeah.
a lot of these
So how are
collections
those
trimmed
two
down.
goals of the going through the DVDs and the CDs
What?
different than your normal operational job description type of work that your librarian should be doing on an ongoing basis? Like, why are they a
Well, first of all, we're
strategic
making it a
goal?
goal to make sure that it gets done.
Gotcha, okay. Gotcha. Is
gotta
that
be a little bit
typically a,
larger.
And I think with the less time spent on the meeting rooms, that's a.
right, that's a transfer that.
This is a huge weed. This is not
This is not
every
your-
year weed.
yeah.
This is a
Okay.
destroy the collection weed. And
Gotcha.
I'm not saying destroy it, but like
Oh, no,
yeah,
no.
really refresh it. Cause like
Yeah.
during COVID, I went through fiction and
Did a major weed.
major.
Yeah.
But I don't do that every year.
Right.
There's
And you
no
don't have the
way.
time.
That
Yeah.
took me a year to do.
Yeah.
And this is probably gonna take Andy quite a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
And
what the
idea-
question was. Yeah,
And the idea too is to get
Figured.
it, to start trimming it down for when we move the collection.
right. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Makes sense.
All righty.
There's that caterpillar again.
There it
Yeah.
is. I'm gonna
Redesign
have to
the
go out and look at the
caterpillar.
caterpillar because I can't.
Yeah, redesign
Yeah,
the
we
Caterpillar to hold the
Is it like
special
a shelf
collection.
with a caterpillar?
No,
on
it's a
top?
little rack.
And it has little,
Yeah.
um,
Oh,
It's very
that
cute.
thing.
arms.
Very
Oh,
cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Did you think it was a worm?
No.
Okay.
Brittany
I
would
mean,
not
it
stand
wasn't
for a
just
worm.
this,
You know, I didn't realize her fear of worms until recently.
Brandy has a fair worm.
She
Oh my
does.
god. Yeah.
The caterpillar must drive her nuts then. Not that it's a worm, but
No, they're so much cuter.
yeah. So I think it wasn't just the sensory kit she was gonna put on there, because obviously it's a big caterpillar and a lot of space, but I think she was talking about putting some of her other special collections
Yeah.
over there.
Because I mean, I think her sensory kits are really going to be quite popular, and she may need it to just be for that
Right.
Maybe
for the future.
for the future,
right?
but right now I think it would look funny to have 12 kits on there.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll expand over
Especially they're
time.
gonna be checked out a lot once people realize they're there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's, right. So, that's her goal.
Okay.
Increase
The
the,
Wonder Books.
okay, the Wonder Books collection
Bless you.
it's an ambitious, I was talking with Sarah yesterday, it's an ambitious goal to increase the collection from 79 to 175. Because we were taking the average of what the Wonder Books cost. Now, if the Vox are cheaper, then it won't cost as much, but it's gonna cost in the neighborhood of like $6,000.
So what is the
Still, they're only
cost
like
of
10
those?
bucks. The box ones are they look to be about $10 to $15 cheaper than the other ones, but they're.
Total
so
cost.
So roughly, you can estimate that.
Per book.
They're between $50 and $65 a book.
So we
Again,
add almost,
I think that's the
Most
perfect
of the
thing
box is
for
about
a
50.
patron. Like if they would like to donate something and not just give $50 to the foundation or not just, some people prefer to just write a check. Some people want to know, I donated this book or this thing, this sensory kit.
Now, I don't
So-
know.
Sensory kit, OTB, it's like a perfect combination.
Oh my God.
Just like the Big Bang.
Do we have to put a little label that in the kids section that it was donated by them?
Call them today.
Once upon a time.
I think our
we did.
foundation member
Well,
should
see-
initiate
Call
this.
them tonight, then
well,
they'll
one
be.
thing else, yeah.
Each sensory kid has a
Oh, they're
sticker
open all
on it
day.
says
I'll- I
sponsored
know
by.
they're closed
I'm
all
sure the
day.
parents would be like,
All the time.
Well, anyways, I'm just wondering if, again, I think hitting those families that are coming in during summer reading
Well, they
and
would love
say,
to check out a
donate.
book with their name.
Right.
My mom checked out a book who I don't even talk to, and she texts me. She's like, "Look it, you bought this book for the library." And I'm
Right,
Oh, wow.
and have a list of the books, and then they could pick their favorite book off the list to donate, or I don't know,
And we could
something.
make
Anyway.
stickers that have like a line and the little kid could write their name on it.
Yes!
And we could plop it in the
There we
There
go.
you go.
Okay.
Easy peasy lemon
Yeah.
squeezy.
Yeah,
So
they would
tell,
love
give
that.
Sarah,
We'll
our
tell her
idea.
that. But also, I think the foundation, with
Yeah.
all the money they've gotten, I
Right,
mean,
with that $10,000
we're gonna have our
TV.
meeting next week, and they're in a pretty good position right now. And we've gotten a lot of we got a $2,500 donation last week. And that's specifically for the children's area.
Nice, okay.
So, I mean, the foundation could do a chunk of that to bring us up, and then we could do the,
Is that why you pushed it to next week? Because I'm not gonna be here tomorrow or on Monday?
yeah. I always like it when Annie's at our foundation.
I know.
meetings.
Yep.
I texted Annie, can you be there? Because I need to know first.
Right, before you schedule the meeting.
I do have one, and I love the Wonder Book, so I'm not saying don't do this, but how many do the other libraries tend to have? Because if we get all of these now, in the first 2 years, then in 2 more years or 3 more years, when they're all run down, then we have to replace like the whole collection again. Because all of them will be so used by then. So then we're kind of at a big chunk of money at the same point because we bought them all at the same point.
I think that they probably won't all go out at once like you're thinking. I think there'll be more of it'll be,
There'll be so many,
yeah.
but I guess the other
But they are
libraries-
expensive.
Yeah.
But there are, Sarah could speak to this more than me. I know Cudahy has a collection of them.
Yeah.
Because Cudahy has everything. Who else?
Well, I know I've checked them out from Oak Creek,
Okay.
but their section is very small. They've had it for a long time, but it's like maybe this big.
Probably because a lot of them are out. I mean, and that's the goal, to get it up so that people, when they come in, they know that there's going to be something there.
So maybe we get it up and then make a plan for replacing or adding a certain amount every year.
Oh, for sure.
And not,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because I would, otherwise that would be.
We did when Carrie and I were divvying up the budget, we did siphon off a little bit from DVDs and gave it to kids for Wonder Books because we feel like we can do that. We had more money in DVDs than we needed now.
And
Since you're gonna be
audiobooks
weeding
and music.
And audiobook, yeah,
I
and
mean,
CDs.
especially
Yeah.
music, like people
Yeah.
aren't checking CDs out at all.
right,
Yeah.
You know?
okay. Anything else?
Yeah, did you have notes in that
Under
area?
services and collections, that was one of my least noted.
Well, now, what about Carrie's collection? I mean, I know we said we're never gonna have like a super huge one, but what about the foreign language collection? I don't see anything here to continue to keep.
Well, I think last year her goal was to build it up, right? I
Yeah.
Just started.
assume that, you're not gonna never look for those again, but
No,
it's
I'll
not gonna
still
be a
look.
goal to create a collection.
Right, I
Or
mean,
it
I'll
doesn't
still,
have to be a
yeah.
goal.
Last
Yeah.
year was the big push to start it, and we
create-
needed more money.
Right.
Needed more money to start it. Now, hopefully Carrie's budget. If not, I'll come back to you guys and ask.
yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be constantly now. That doesn't really need to be,
Okay.
because then it
Like
does
the
become
goal
part of
to
the.
build the collection up, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on to marketing and awareness.
Yeah, we will increase public awareness of the library, its resources, and the importance of the library to the community.
So here's where that foreign language collection,
Oh, yeah.
we want to increase awareness and use by marketing them better. And increase use of those collections by 25% over this year.
Yeah.
I know Mike does,
should've
I
just
just
read
don't
ahead.
have numbers for
I know,
those.
but see, like
when
you,
I
but when you
report on
do,
it,
right,
See there, I think that is your number, 25 over 2.
we report on it in Q2.
right.
Of course,
And I think
it's gonna have to be a
this,
Q4 one
I was
too.
gonna say, that
well,
should
you
be a
won't
quarter
have to
four
be able to-
because.
but look at this,
Your
your list of
25%.
like, have they been checked out and like the sensory kits, how much they're circulating? I mean, you don't have to do this every time, but,
Yeah,
showing like that they're being checked out and that
Well, didn't we last year
So-
talk about some of these goals that you don't necessarily have to report on every time?
Right.
Right,
Like you're
yep.
just doing,
Well, I think with the
Halfway
marketing
through.
special collections, Q1 would be the marketing and Q4 would be
Just the
the
reporting.
reporting.
With the marketing too, with the sensory kits, there is a new place, and it's on the tip of, I can't think of the exact name of it, I feel bad, I was at the ribbon cutting for it. But a new autism spectrum sensory place. that
Yes.
just opened up in Franklin too.
Yeah, Brittany
Where
knows
is
about
that?
that. She
Oh,
mentioned
okay.
that.
You guys are on top of it.
Yeah, and to advertise
Brittany
there.
knows everything.
Yeah.
And it's her name, I don't know that I've met her, it's that, he's,
Brittany.
It looks like
Brittany.
Brian.
It looks
I
like
keep
Brioni
thinking
or
Brioni.
Brioni, but, or however the English say it.
Brinny,
Brittany.
But it's
That's
Brittany.
cute.
yeah.
Thank you. I keep thinking Brittany.
Yeah, she
Don't
gets
worry,
called
everybody
Brittany a
calls
lot.
her Brittany.
Okay.
Create 1 to 3 posts, post weekly on Facebook to increase engagement to 30% over, I should put over 2023.
yeah, because you
2020.
guys
Oh,
are ready
yeah.
to post 1 to 3 times weekly.
Yeah, so again, just to interject, when I had Sam's review, something Jennifer and I learned in the McFliss marketing meeting, not this year's, but the year before, was that Deb, who's the McFliss marketing person, was like, don't make Facebook all about promoting your events. Put something fluffy in there and you'll get engagement so that people will keep coming back.
Right.
It'll keep coming up on their
Feed, yep.
And so Sam's been trying to do that more often. So I think that might be this goal specifically is making, I don't want to say fluffy
Other
posts, but like
yeah.
posts about reading lists, posts about, I even said if you put a meme with a cat and a book and something funny, you know, like,
Yes.
that, cause that's what Deb said. She's
Yep.
like, that was one of our like most liked McFliss Facebook posts was this cat book
Yeah,
meme
like
thing.
fun fact.
Yeah.
And then never, tell Sam too, never feel bad about how many times you do post on Facebook, like if it starts to seem like, wow, the library is posting too much. Because the city of Franklin is unique in the fact that, as a municipality, we don't have our own Facebook page as of
Oh,
yet. We keep
that's
going
true.
back and
No?
forth, and I follow many
that.
other municipalities in southeastern Wisconsin and even outside of further government pages. Yeah, City of Franklin does not have one.
Oh.
Like the
So-
departments have them.
Like
Like
the
the
finally
police
did it,
department.
right?
have one,
Nobody's
you could-
using
there would be a
Facebook
difference. So
anymore.
never feel bad about thinking you're over.
Well, I
doing
guess when I say
Facebook.
oversaturated, I mean like doing like 2 to 3 posts a day and
Oh,
one on
that would
top
be-
of another. That would be
That would be
over posting.
excessive,
Yeah.
But 2 to 3 times a week or more. I enjoy
I-
sharing this stuff too, like, I'll often share it to my elder
Yeah.
page, and, because there are certain people that are limited on Facebook. I have some elderly constituents that don't know how to navigate Facebook quite as well, or they don't wanna deal with some of the pages that have a lot of excessive drama, which a lot of
Yeah.
our, unfortunately.
What? Our community pages?
Oh my god, that's every community
Wait,
page.
which
Yeah,
ones
it
are
is.
That's every
blocked
community
off of
page.
now?
It's it's
geez.
everyone. It's
That's every,
Yeah, but we're a little extra.
Oh, they're.
I follow Greendale, Greenfield Hills Corners, Muskego, New Berlin, you name it, I follow. For
You
some
fa-
marketing that I used to do in
Greendale's
different,
pretty
like,
dramatic.
I don't know,
Yeah,
Bayview
yeah,
Town
yeah.
Hall is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Greendale
Like, I don't
is.
even,
when they complain about the DPW, the mama bear, and he wants to come out, so they just have to like,
oh yeah.
It's probably
All right.
best that you're not on there.
oh, I am.
So-
Because you have a ton of goals in this area.
Yeah, I do.
So,
Market
saw
our
that
traveling
one.
collections
That
to increase awareness of the resources available.
yeah,
The
Like to the Brentwood. and-
Brentwood
Brentwood
and
and,
Clare
the-
Meadows.
okay.
Because we've already been approached by Forest Hill Highlands for
Okay.
doing something similar there.
So
So,
that's
and
pretty
Laura,
much 25% right there. right?
Yeah.
and Laura, you have her on here because she's doing the traveling
She's doing the
collections for daycare.
children's,
Gotcha,
yeah.
okay,
Okay.
alrighty. I was a little, yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah. So
okay.
that one. And create outreach kit. This is a Laura G goal. Create an outreach kit to increase organization of outreach materials. Because right now they're in 2 gray boxes in my office.
Okay, so what do
So-
you mean by an outreach kit?
It would basically be a bin that would have everything that you need. Or not even a bin. We have like the tablecloth now.
Gotcha.
We've got
The tent.
all of the flyers. You know, we know,
We need to
we
get the
know,
tent, don't we?
we do need to get the
I was
tent.
gonna say, did we get a tent? I didn't
No,
know.
I told Laura Jeter, there's a company you work with. So, yeah,
Okay.
we'll work on that.
So all of that
But
would be
all
in
of that
one
would be in
place
one
that you would just
place.
come and pick it up.
And everybody who
whoever's
does
going-
outreach would know they get that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and we have all the
Okay.
flyers they need, the signs they need.
stickers,
The
bookmarks.
goodies, the giveaways.
Yeah, I mean, in there you
Okay.
should have like bungee cords, duct tape.
Yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
weights
All the
for the
things that you
tent.
end up
Rocks.
getting just in case.
We use a lot of rocks for Halloween.
Alrighty, okay.
So that is.
And that is, and part
Oh,
of
yeah,
that
we
is
did
to
have a
decrease
lot.
the staff time by
You know, if
25%, okay.
Not to take too much more time on this, but just a real quick thought while we're on it, is if we do have some larger sponsors, they usually give away like clips and different things like that. That's the perfect way, when I always do marketing for our organization, I would use like the clips, like the Hubie and Abraham clips or whatever, to hold like some of our paper down. That way we're supporting
Your sponsors.
our sponsors at the same time that we're adding an outreach thing. So maybe
Yeah.
if they have like weights, or if you see that they give out clips or whatever, then we could also use them at our tables.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of a reason for them to want to, because we're advertising to them.
Next, implement library outreach and passive programming to tweens and teens in Franklin Public Schools. I mean, that's kind of building on what she's doing right now, right? It's just,
Right.
she's starting it, so, yeah.
Yeah, two comments about that. Number one, all of her programming, and I know it's a daycare issue, is on Tuesdays. So any tween or teen that works or has a school activity regularly on Tuesdays can never attend in-person programming because they're always on Tuesdays.
Oh, you mean her programming in the library?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, her in-library programming. So that's just some feedback. Because my girls have a regular activity on Tuesdays, so they made 0 programs this year.
So,
So maybe looking at that, I had already mentioned expanding it to offering some of those programming on the day off programming. And then also, I'll email her some suggestions I have.
I'll just say alternate to other days,
Yeah, just, you know.
not just the one.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand story times on a regular day, you know, but if you're doing like programming for a population to hit as many of them as possible to
Alternate the days.
offer, yeah. Okay.
Present summer reading program in person with handouts at area schools. I know last year there was something about we weren't supposed to take the
Yeah, I was gonna
handout.
say they should absolutely contact Annalee soon
It's
because
just
they
the
have
paper.
gone to they couldn't hand out their
It's
papers.
just that because now they have a
digital thing.
So I think maybe we should change that. I mean, well, we say
They
and
can
with
go in-
handouts,
They still-
digital handouts.
But they got permission from her to do that, and I
Right.
think a handout
I would
is
still
more
s-
effective.
It is
I would
totally
still
more.
see if
So
you could try to
ask
get
if you can get an
get
Okay.
permission, yeah, for sure, because I think that was helped a lot more.
What about like a magnet or something that you can give them with the, you know what I mean?
Every kid.
It has all the
That'd be-
programs listed on it. The brochure is what they were handing out. And I don't know that would fit.
We do
You know
need
what
to
I mean?
make library magnets though, now I
Yeah,
think
like a
about it.
QR code or something?
That's a good point.
Oh, just like a little business card maybe with
It
the
could be
QR code on
changing.
it.
It just went to like the children's page or the whatever. That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
I still think the brochure that says the petting zoo is coming on Tuesday,
Right.
June 28th.
I would, yeah,
Well, I'll have them
Then
talk
they-
to Annalee directly.
Yeah, see if they
especially because
can.
it's just one thing. It's not like the library's asking for something
Right.
monthly to
Right,
be
right, to
giving
go
a
on a-
paper
right,
handout
right.
for the families.
So the next one is research and develop at least one new outreach opportunity in 2024. That's Laura, and it was
Mm-hmm.
that she wants to achieve, we want to go a little bit beyond our face-to-face interactions. But not so much that we're like
Yeah,
Killing
always, yeah.
killing ourselves, but revamp FPL teen Instagram page to increase marketing of library resources to teens, to increase engagement on Instagram in 2024 by 25%.
That's
think-
a big goal.
I think she just wants a way to like appeal to the teens.
I mean, what's her
All
engagement
she
now,
has-
though? Put it
That's
in there,
true.
too.
See, that's the
Right.
thing.
Right,
That's true.
yeah.
I
mean,
think that it hasn't been worked on in a while, so I
Yeah.
think that 25% is a easy goal.
Yeah.
Especially if it's just in like, how many people's page did that cross or whatever.
Yeah.
Not that they had to,
I don't know if we're ready to go TikTok, but,
I don't know, just keep
I know.
reposting Milwaukee.
you and Brittany just,
That's all you have to do is just repost other people's
Yeah.
that you find that you love. Just repost those. Other libraries, other like whatever. Just repost those.
yeah.
And then occasionally, of course, make your own. But like, man, Milwaukee does good ones. I would
Yeah, they
totally
really
just use
do.
their stuff.
Well, roller skating around their atrium isn't really gonna pull them into our library though.
No, but it'll get your
Engagement.
engagement
Yeah, no,
on
I know.
social
Yeah.
media
The-
and your recognition and
Right.
and it'll make the students think libraries are cool again.
The last,
What about, I'm sorry, but what about, for the teen tween thing, what about like the media classes at the high school? Could we partner with them and maybe get a group of kids that, you know, it could be like a semester project or something?
So, yeah, Mike and I talked about this. We decided
Oh, sorry.
that we need to maybe recruit a social media influencer for the Franklin Public Library. And maybe, and that's exactly what we were thinking, Annie,
Yeah.
that has the library looked into, I know they have, and I don't know the term, but they have a program at the high school where the kids can intern, like a youth apprentice or a youth
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
you know,
There's gotta be something there.
something that we could provide an internship or an opportunity for a high school student
Have you already,
at the
don't you
library.
already talk to Andy? Do you not work with Andy on that or no?
I don't know who Andy is.
he's at the high school.
So anyways, that would be like the perfect
For
job for a
mentoring.
teenager, right?
Right.
For a high school student to do social media for the
Right.
library. So that was definitely an idea that Mike and I talked about when we sat down. We also were concerned, I know that you guys use the Facebook page, but I am not sure that teens and tweens are using Facebook anymore. And are we using
much.
the appropriate
No.
social media for the demographics that we're trying to reach? So,
Well,
so we were just putting it out there to suggest to the staff that you look at the social media that, you know, and I think Instagram, when we saw that, we're like, oh, okay, well, she's using
They use-
Instagram, that's probably a good one for that.
But
So,
the Facebook stuff automatically posts to the Instagram page
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay,
Link them
okay,
all.
gotcha, all right.
Sam
So,
set that
but
up,
again,
didn't
you know, like,
Yeah.
the TikTok thing is probably a good idea.
Well,
But,
that's because the
um,
younger kids.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a
exactly.
little advanced. at
It
this
is,
stage.
and there's issues with,
To be honest,
With TikTok,
Instagram is
so
almost
I don't know
the
that-
older population too.
right, so just that we, you know. Those
But
were,
Facebook is making a comeback, by the way. A lot of
Okay.
teenagers are coming back.
Are coming
onto
back to it?
Facebook.
Okay.
Actually, I have to tell you, a couple of my nieces that used to say it's for old people are on it now, and I'm like, what
Okay.
are you saying about yourself there?
Actually, I don't think
Coming back.
they use it, but they all check it.
Right.
okay,
Every
Yeah.
kid checks it.
Okay.
Like, because any kid you talk to, you'll say, "Oh, did you? Oh, yeah, I saw that." You know, they see it.
okay,
They just don't.
It's not
Use
cool
it.
to them to.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
went to Florida. You know.
right, okay.
But that's a good idea, working with the high school to find a social
Yeah.
media influencer to work with us and
It could
get
be
the
like
library
a
full
semester
again.
project or
That's a,
something.
right,
Yeah.
right.
And then kids could put that on their college apps or.
For sure,
You know.
especially if there was something official, that it was, you know, a relationship between the library
Yeah.
and that we,
Yeah, it could be like an intern,
and,
like
and
an
like a
unpaid internship or
actual, for a class,
They're
so.
about to start the next semester, so they always have people that are looking to get out of school.
No, I was never like that. when I
Yeah, I
was
didn't
in
do that. I didn't do that internship either.
So the, the latest MPL TikTok one, I'll just say this really quickly, was hilarious, the one I saw. Because they were comparing the outreach car
Oh my god.
to a Mercedes, and they had like Mercedes with the fancy everything. And then the guy trying to open his car up with his
Attention
key,
patrons.
going
For the owner
outreach car.
of the vehicle with the license number GIT GUD2, please come to the front
Get
checkout
good.
desk. Thank you.
Get
Get
good.
good.
Get
It's
good
not
to-
me. It's not me.
The best part of that one is at the very end when he's trying to get his Pocahontas tape in the tape
Oh,
player
yeah.
of the
And
car.
they told me that they still,
What
it
is
had
it
still
on the
had a
TikTok?
cassette.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
outreach
Milwaukee
card.
Public Library.
Okay.
The outreach card.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a beater. It's a beater.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
like, is that a really their outreach card?
It probably is.
Oh, man, that's
It
pretty
is
sad.
hysterical.
And it has like the crank.
I don't really do
windows.
TikTok, but that's-
You don't have, like.
You don't have to have an account.
You don't, because I.
Yeah,
don't
I
have
watched
TikTok.
it.
They're on
I
Instagram.
could only say.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all those
They post
things
them.
usually end up going
Yeah,
to
you can just
Instagram
Google.
and Facebook.
And
anyway.
Facebook, yeah, I see it on Facebook.
All right, are there any questions? Oh, the last one about.
Yeah, post regular movie recommendations on library's
Okay.
Facebook page. That's Andy.
Yep.
Again, going back to the movies
Mm-hmm.
and promoting Hoopla Canopy and our physical media collection.
So do you want me to get
What's
Probably
that?
a good idea.
Laura,
And you're talking about Andy who manages the
who does all the internships?
internships, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, that was a lot of marketing and awareness goals.
I know a couple other National Honor Society people that are looking for hours too.
Did you guys have?
Did you guys have any other comments or questions on the marketing and awareness?
We have,
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Mr. Blandings builds his dream house
I
and
have
some other
something they
media.
could do. They could clean
No,
all the
seriously.
toys in the create space.
You mean besides the DVD?
Yeah,
The book.
I'd have to
right?
look.
no, that's.
I don't know. Well,
not
we can get the
necessarily,
book.
I'm assuming so.
I told them to come to the library and.
And think
I
that's
don't
a-
know if it's on Hoopla or I don't think it is because we had to watch it real quick. Well, no, Pete like used. Yeah,
It's on something.
it's on one of the streaming services,
Yeah, you
but
Through the library?
no.
Or no, a streaming service? Okay.
Or maybe it wouldn't get attention as a book or as a story.
I have no idea what this movie is.
Oh my
It's a-
God.
Never heard of it.
Cary
It's a
Grant,
Yeah, I
Myrna
think it's a
Loy.
third-
See, I
it's
don't
a
care
third
about
story.
that big much.
Yeah. It's a great,
I don't
It's
like
a great
movies
idea.
all that much either.
For
Mr. Blandings. It's
Builds his-
Cary Grant. It's a great movie.
Can we find it on Netflix?
It's
I'm kidding.
the night.
All right.
CCM.
Any other questions on marketing and awareness goals?
Okay.
All right, we'll move on to, I think this is our final one, organizational health.
It's like all me.
Well, sure, yeah, okay.
Last. but
And
not
I
least.
didn't even add something I need to add, but
Oh.
identify steps for the 2025-29 strategic plan and initiate as
Yeah,
needed.
for sure.
And that's not just me, that's library board as well. Hopefully having it done by November so that we have a month to take a breath and then,
Right.
and then do our action plan. So that's me. Enroll and finish a course on project management and Gale courses. I'm gonna complete that by March
That is a
31st.
great goal. And we would encourage maybe that to trickle down maybe in the future if that would be something that would be,
There's a lot of
I don't want to
courses.
say a requirement, a goal for other staff people
Right,
too, for sure.
exactly, yeah. Complete the 2025 to 2030 capital improvement plan and submit to the city's finance director. I have to have that done by February 2nd. Plan and implement carpeting project on each side of public area. That's gonna take a lot of time, but the goal is to get it done. We're kind of like, when can we afford to have,
Yeah,
we need to have it done by end of August.
so that could almost fit in with your project management course. If
It
you
i-
could
yeah.
use that as
Yeah,
your project to manage,
it's gonna be my project to manage.
to manage, like it or not. So,
And then focus on listening. Well, this is my own personal goal, action plan goal, and is focused on listening to my team more by implementing feedback forums and regular management team meetings. Because I think we could do that better. Like Carrie, Maureen, and I do meet, but sometimes it's just like, oh, something big's coming up. We need to meet about it. They're
Right.
not scheduled. They're
Right.
not. So maybe we need to just decide. Okay, the first Monday of every month, we're gonna have a management team meeting and in the morning. And
I'm not here though.
oh yeah, that's right. We can't do Monday mornings. Between you and Maureen, it might be mornings may
Yeah,
not work. It
Maureen.
might have to be afternoons. So that's mine. And then there's another goal that I need to work on, which is getting rid of some of the library records that we have. We have records
oh, okay.
way back to like the beginning of the library, practically. We don't need to keep all of them.
But you have to first figure out what you're
But we have to
required
figure out,
probably
yeah,
to keep. and-
Yeah,
Where do you have all those?
in the storage room, in boxes. So my goal is to go through, first of all, I talked to the city, they keep 7 years, that's what they keep.
Oh, okay.
And their recommendation was to find out from the library board how long you
Okay.
want me to
I
keep.
suppose it
them.
depends on what kind of record too, right? I don't know if there's.
Well, these are financial records,
Okay.
Are they paper?
yeah. We used to
Okay.
do everything on paper before
I mean,
2013.
can't you scan them in and electronically?
Oh, it would take way too much time. If I had a volunteer, but I don't know that I would get a volunteer that would. But do we even need to keep them?
Yeah, do you need to keep?
I don't know, do you wanna
records
check
from
with the
30
city
or whatever?
attorney?
Oh,
Better
sorry, we had a
financials?
flood, now I don't have.
Well,
to
I was
do
thinking more.
I mean, I'm sure the city
The
keeping
state.
it.
Keep them.
The
Sure.
library doesn't file
Yes.
taxes or anything.
I know, I don't know why
Then
you
who
need to
else,
keep
who
them
else
that
would you
long.
need financials for?
Well, I think that's her project, her goal for this
That's
year
my
is to
goal.
figure out
Yeah.
what she needs to keep, how long she needs to keep it for, and what to do with them, and,
So I would
all that
call
kind
it like records retention.
yep. Okay.
Add policy to that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
policy.
maybe.
That's a good idea.
Can I just go back, oh,
Yeah.
when you're done with that one? Is that,
So records retention policy implementation.
sure.
We're getting there. Need a couple more words in.
Yeah, this is gonna be a busy year. I would say Q4, but I think I'll get it done before then.
Yeah, well, that's okay. You have a carpeting project to implement
I know, that's,
and a
And then-
strategic plan. Oh, yeah, and by the way, a library to run.
I'll just let Carrie I'll let Carrie run it.
I'm gonna go back quick to the last typed goal there on listening to your team.
Yeah.
That does tend to come up in evaluations that the staff comment on, we need more meetings. I don't know what people are asking for more meetings, but some people consistently have asked for more staff meetings, and I know with the schedules being all over the board, it's impossible.
We couldn't do it this year. I can tell you
Nope.
for sure, 2023 was not the year to do it. We
Right.
already were,
But
Scrambling with
right, a
coverage for the desk.
suggestion, and I know that you and I have talked about this before, is have, either shift meetings, which I know then every meeting tends to be different, or, like, all the shelvers have a meeting, all the
Well,
library,
that's-
that kind of thing. So
that's
those are
what
just some, yeah.
Maureen has been trying to do a shelver meeting and a library assistant meeting
Yeah.
for about 9 months now.
Okay, all right.
But we were short, and then
Yeah.
we got those people trained, and then they left. So
Okay.
it's been a challenging
Yeah,
year that way.
yeah.
But we do plan on, yeah. I think the librarians, we meet more regularly than any of the other groups.
Okay.
For sure. And we will have our big staff meeting on
Right,
President's
right.
Day.
Yep. Yep. The other thing is, these feedback forms.
Yeah.
Do you have them made up already?
No.
Like, okay,
No,
all right.
no. I barely got this done in time.
Gotcha. I think, as Mike and I talked about it, the process of those forms, like, I'm sure that you'll receive them and then get back to the person or a follow-up or something. I don't know how that will go.
Well, and I imagine it wouldn't be a form, it would probably be an online.
Right, yeah,
'Cause
however that,
we-
yeah.
I'm doing more like
Yes.
Google
Gotcha,
stuff.
perfect. All right, any other questions or comments about organizational health?
Is there anything
Right.
glaringly missing?
No, yeah. All right, sounds good. It's a plan, it's flexible, it's not something, if something comes up, ideas, that kind of thing, don't hesitate to bring them up mid-year. And I think we have a really good system in place for quarterly reports on these now, so it's been a really good process. So we'll just look forward to doing that, starting to work on that strategic plan. I think we've learned a lot over these past years and have a really good flow to this process, so that's nice that we have that. So impressive with what the staff has done in 2023. I think it's been just an amazing year, with seeing what has been done, so look forward to 2024. We are meeting as a board on Monday night, and I know, Annie, you said you weren't going to be there. Yeah. All righty.
What?
Going to New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yay. Yay, we're glad you could be here.
Yeah, I think it might be a little rainy though.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why it did that.
Oh.
When I converted it to
Oh, how
PDF, it
oh,
did some
funny.
funky
Okay.
stuff here.
So
the recap and closing.
Yeah.
All
right.
Make a motion that we adjourn?
Second.
Absolutely. Annie and Alan, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody? Okay. Have a great day, everybody.